Keep going. Keep going.
Too much. Like you look like you're interrogating.
Go that way.
There's too much shadow.
No. Trust me, it's not. Not on the camera.
All right, guys, we are live. I don't know if it's how big the delay is, but here we go. We're going live.
No. Trust me.
Oh, we're live right now. So nobody's in the chat. So if you're watching this on the replay, tonight is just going to be hanging out. We're just hanging out with a buddy. Anybody who comes in, if somebody else wants to join in on the chat tonight, it's going to be a free-for-all. Let me introduce my guest that's with me. I'll probably do that a few times throughout the evening. This is my old bass player, Ronnie, who is amazing bass player and painter. As you can see, one of his pieces of art on the wall behind him. And where are you living now, Ronnie?
I'm living in Virginia.
Virginia. So he's grown his beard was starting to grow out back in Texas. You didn't have to shave the beard, it looks like, through this whole ordeal, right?
Right.
You decided not to shave the beard?
No, from doctors and everyone, they said as long as you keep it clean, and I keep it really clean, overly clean. So it's no different than it attaching itself to your face. So.
Yeah, well, the thing you hear is that the mask with the mask, actually don't make a seal. But the majority of people who are wearing a mask anyways are touching their face, holding it under their nose, picking at it, touching themselves, rubbing all over it, pulling it down like this. Believe it or not, the majority of people wearing masks now are actually causing more contamination to their face than if they just didn't wear one at all. So you're probably actually safer with the beard than wearing a mask, man. So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things that Ronnie and I are going to sit around and shoot the shit here. Hopefully some people will join us in the chat. If not, whatever. It's a good chance for me to catch up with an old buddy of mine. So we'll probably be talking about drones, obviously, at some point, because we've been doing, basically, Ronnie, what I've been doing is every night at 9 o'clock, jumping on YouTube and shooting the crap with somebody. And there is a new drone launch called the Mavic 2 Pro, Air that's going to be coming out very soon. This Monday evening, the company who's making it, DJI, which is you've seen the drones I have there. You've seen the ones, remember when we went and did the Drunken Horizon and I had the blue beard and we went to Lake Conroe that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a DJI original Mavic. And this is going to be the Mavic Air, which is one I got once I moved up here in Colorado. And so we got to talk about that a little bit every single night, but we're going to talk about other things too. We got somebody in the chat now says, hi, man. Hello, right back at you. Hope you can stay for a little bit. We're going to cover all kinds of things, a lot more than just drones tonight, guys, because there's only what do we get with no new leaks tonight that I know of to talk about. So if you know of any leaks, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about them. But one thing I do want to talk about tonight, drone-wise, a little later once more people show up, I want to talk about you as somebody who doesn't own a drone but has been around them at some point when we get a little bit more people. And maybe have you seen them being used like in your work or in your personal life or anything like that?
In my work as a surveyor, they are used for aerial surveying, somewhat, and they still fly with a airplane, but I haven't physically seen them being used anywhere lately. But in the past, for fun, recreation and stuff like that, especially with you, mostly with you.
Well, Ronnie was actually around whenever I got my first little toy ones. And actually, I think I have it over here, Ronnie. Let me grab it and see if you remember this thing. This is my first drone. This was called a Blade Nano. Do you remember this thing? We used to fly it around the house when you'd come over.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's like a little angry bumblebee. But yeah, this is what started the hobby for me and the addiction. So, how do you pronounce his name? Ashik? Ashik says, I was the first one to tell us the Mavic Air 2 is coming, and I appreciate it. I mean, it was common sense that DJI was going to make another one eventually. I was a little early because like a year ago, Ronnie, I made a video talking about the rumored Mavic Air 2, and then it didn't come. Like it was all my insights told me, hey, this is coming, go make a video about it. And they told me all these facts about it. And so I did. And then all of a sudden it was never released. Like it just was put on the back burner. And now that product is finally coming to fruition. And most of the things that I had rumored about it back then are are true. They came true. So that was pretty interesting to see that. Sheldon says hello to us. Sheldon, where are you from?
How are you?
Anybody that's in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. That would be pretty cool to see. I'd like to see that. I'm sure Ronnie would too. I'm in Colorado, and Ronnie, you are?
Virginia.
And are you in out in a city somewhere? Or are you like more in like a rural area?
I'm in a rural area. I'm in the country. I'm just east of Richmond, Virginia, in the country where I like it.
Yeah.
So it's very peaceful.
So, and for those who are just popping in now, let me let you know that Ronnie here is my old bass player for my old band. So at some point, I'm sure we'll pop up a video if you guys are interested in that. But yes, we used to be in a band, and it was doing really, really, really well at one point. So we'll get into more of that later. I'm sorry. We got somebody, Sheldon's from Atlanta, Georgia. That's pretty cool. I think that's where they're filming The Walking Dead, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Bob is from Texas. What part of Texas, Bob? Both Ronnie and myself used to live in Texas. So let us know whenever that catches up, and we'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see that. Let's see. So what else can we get on while we're waiting for more people to join in? Man, only 5 people in the chat at the moment. That's small numbers tonight. Small numbers.
They're just warming up.
Yeah, well, maybe people are getting now. It's dropped to 4. We're boring the hell out of people. But maybe it's because I'm doing one every single night, and that was a thing that I thought I should do. Maybe that's not the right thing. I'm testing. Hey, my gosh, Jonathan Buckhouse is in the house. That's my buddy. That's a snowboarding guy that's here.
Yeah.
And I miss snowboarding with your ass, Jonathan. Still waiting to see that T-shirt. If you made it yet, I'd love to see what people think about it if you got it made. And Jonathan, if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, why don't you join me in the chat tomorrow? That would be pretty cool to have you in a chat. I'm just chatting every night, man, getting my social contacts because I can't get out of the house and do much. Today, my day was us at the shop, me and a couple buddies, and we were tearing the floors up out of the lobby. We were scraping glue out and started putting new floors down. Hopefully we'll have it all finished tomorrow in time to be able to get open again. There's a good chance that we will be open hopefully by May the 4th. Worst case scenario, middle of the month. We're hearing different stories right now. Yeah, Jonathan, I've subscribed to your new channel. Did you subscribe to my new channel, Jonathan? Did you? And not the whole shop, just the lobby, Jonathan. There was a carpet in the lobby, and because of all the snow and stuff, it would just get nasty, and I'd have to steam clean it constantly, and it was getting nasty. So Agent K, I see Agent K just joined the room. Chris Hope just joined the room. We're getting a few people joining. Sheldon has just joined the room. I'm going to reintroduce my buddy Ronnie here. This is Ronnie Copel with the giant beard there. He's an artist / bass player. He does not own a drone, and I thought that would be a pretty interesting take to hear some of his opinions, and you guys talk to him so we could get his opinion, like somebody who's not into the drone industry, not obsessed with them the way we all are, to see like his viewpoint, you know. Frank says, "Hey, we're getting some people jumping in there, Ronnie."
Heck yeah.
So not a big group, but a little bit.
I think.
Go ahead.
Well, I think where I'm living now, the drone would be beautiful. You know, the lake. I live in a lakeside community, and it's got beautiful trees and hills, kind of like Colorado. So now it's becoming more of a perfect area to purchase and just really start making a lot of videos. Especially the roads here are cut into the hills, and just kind of like Colorado with the trees, and just snows here is gorgeous. You know.
So, Ronnie, this actually might be a good talk for you with these other people if you're considering a drone. They aren't cheap, obviously, but there are 2 drones by this one company. One is being not released, but at least announced, if not released, this coming Monday, called the Mavic Air 2. And they have another one called the Mavic Mini. The Mavic Mini, I think, sells for $350 or $399, something like that. And it's a pretty capable product. So if you were looking to get into something and spend as little as possible, that would be a way for you to do it right there. This new one that we're talking about with all these people, and everybody's pretty excited about this new one because it takes everything that Mavic Mini has, and it has a lot more added to it, like sensors to help you from running into things and stuff like that to make flying a little easier. Plus more automated features so that you can push buttons and it just sort of does things for you. That one is going to be called the Mavic Air 2, and it's going to start at $799. So let me ask you, somebody who has no drone at all, which of those two sounds more enticing to you? Like somebody who was just going to get into the hobby, would you rather save the money and get a capable drone or spend a good, $400 more to get one with features that you don't even really understand what these features are yet? Which would you lean towards?
I think getting my feet wet would be the best thing, as far as just learning how it works. I mean, but at the same time, in 6 months, I'll be wanting those features anyway. If I really practice and get used to filming with it per se, you know.
And I think I recommend that to people all the time. If you're tighter on the budget and you've really never had one before, the Mavic Mini, and spending less to just get your feet wet, to see, like you said, to see if it's even anything that you would actually use regularly. You know, I mean, because at $399, $400, that's still that's the price of a decent camera, or half price of one of these newer phones. You see this comment Jonathan left about your beard there? Can you see the comments, Ronnie?
Yeah, I got to look. I just got new contacts today, so forgive me.
Yeah, he says, great beard. I'm working on my own right now. How many mushrooms you got to eat to get a beard that big?
Well, I mean, I'm not at the Gandalf stage yet, but I'm working to be wizard. So,
are you planning on growing it longer?
Are
you trimming it right there?
No, this is not trimmed. When I trim it, it's like microscopic. You need a microscope. So,
are you gonna try to grow it out your belly button just to do it?
Yeah, I'm going wizard. I got permission.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, dude! If you get it down to your belly button, I need pictures of that.
It's getting to the point where I can braid it and put little skulls in it.
Check out this comment here, Ronnie. He says, Tim says, how did you get one of the members from ZZ Top to join? This is epic. Pull up your base right there, man. Show him your base there. You might want to turn your camera angle is a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying, like I don't know if y'all can see the base. 1963 Fender reissue. This has been to hell and back. It's been thrown on stage, bumped into Sean with smoke we couldn't even see on stage. It's been through hell. But I'm going to fix my camera here. Do I need to scoot it back or come forward or what?
If you came forward a little closer to the camera, we'd be able to hear you better and see you better. You don't have to move the camera. That's good.
It's a laptop.
I was going to say, if you left the camera where it was and you scooted your chair towards it, then you're painting.
Okay, hang on. Let me go back. I'm trying to get the lighting. We'll have to do this again to get everything set up here.
Now pull the camera down and then just slide yourself towards it. Tim Jackson says he has a Fender Squier bass.
Oh, yeah. This is a Fender Precision 1963 reissue.
Yeah, you stay close like that.
Okay, cool.
Now we can hear you better.
Awesome.
John joined in and says the late show with Sean Oz. And to me, it's only 9:14. So to me, it's pretty early still.
What time is it here? It is.
I think it is probably 11:14 where you're at. You're on the East Coast.
Yeah, 11:15.
Let's see what we got in the comments here real quick before we start blabbering too much. Let's say hello to everybody. We got Tim Jackson saying hello. We've got Chris Hope in the chat room saying hello to other people in the chat room. One of the things I love about this live format is we get some of the same guys in the chats in different people's YouTube chats, and they all get to know each other. And that's such a cool thing to have this online community of people we actually know. We already said it's something about the ZZ Top thing. Agent K asked me how long I've grown my beard before. And the longest I think I've ever let it grow before I've chopped mine off, not even close to Ronnie's. Not even close, but I think, and he can probably correct me because I was still living back in Houston. I think I let it go.
Yeah, you let it go about
an inch or so.
Inches almost.
Do you remember though? What I did when I let it grow like that, I took some gel and I made it fly out like this, like an evil scientist beard or something. And then I shaved it all off because I do have pictures somewhere where they're like, it's all wow. But yeah, I usually don't let it go any long. This is as long as I usually let it go. I'm due for a shave right now. I usually prefer it in the 5 o'clock shadow to light beard kind of late.
There have been moments of insanity. It gets to you. When you wake up, it's all over here. Making out with your woman, it's everywhere, you know. So it's just there's a lot of protocol. I mean, I can split it almost and make 2 beards out of it.
That's funny right there, dude.
So I
you
can
probably braid it at this point.
braid it almost, you know. It's just getting everywhere. So
Agent K says he'd like to see me with big long beard. I think Agent K, the only way that's going to happen is Photoshop.
well, we can start as easy top tribute band. I think we'd be solid.
I'd rather do a Dora's tribute band.
There you go.
That would be pretty dope. So Tim Jackson says the drone community is awesome on YouTube, and I agree. Now, I've been trying to talk Ronnie into getting his YouTube channel going for years now.
I need to get back into it.
Now, if anyone in this chat has heard me talk about creating a YouTube channel, there's number one thing to succeed at YouTube that I always tell everybody. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm curious if anybody can take a guess in the chat of what that one thing is you need to do on YouTube. The first thing you need to do on YouTube to be successful. If anybody can guess that in the chat, that would be pretty cool. So we'll wait. We'll talk while we let them, because there's like a 20-second delay from when I'm talking and you're talking to what they can actually hear. So it takes them a minute before they get our questions and vice versa. So, yeah, Ronnie, what do you think? Would you save up for a drone because you are living in a nice place?
I think I would go to you mentioned too, and forgive me, the second one that you mentioned, the higher, going up in price with the software and features and all the bells and whistles, because eventually I'm going to get into it, and then I'm going to be wanting to do something. And I remember you teaching me about the Drunken Horizon and all kinds of things from when we were in Colorado, and I want that drone to be giving the best images in video and pictures and just the smoothness. Like I said, I'm using terminology, guys, because I don't know the terminology. So I'm actually a surveyor, and we do use them for aerial surveys, for topographic surveys with also planes, but I've never used them myself. So, but I think they're amazing for filming, and then, you know, deleting the sound and editing and putting music to it is amazing. And I think that's the coolest thing, is the editing features once you are completed with the flying and filming. So, yeah.
We got a few people answering that question in the chat now. And I'm sure you've heard me say this too. This isn't what I was referring to, but they're all saying the same thing, which is a great advice, but to post regularly on YouTube. Do you remember me telling you that?
Yeah, I remember.
Once a week minimum, post a video. Just do it. But here's the thing. The very first thing you need to do is just get started. Stop worrying about, oh, how good is the quality going to be? Can I actually pull this off? Is it stupid? I don't know. If you think and worry about that kind of stuff, you're never going to start. To start, you just start. All you need is a phone. That's it. Nowadays, a phone will do everything you need, and there's great editing apps on phones that you can use, whether you want to do music, whether you want to do a health channel like you were talking about doing, or if you buy a drone. If you go out and buy a drone and you end up jumping in with the community like this, you can see how friendly everybody is in the drone community.
Yeah.
We all know each other. You could come out to one of these spin-up events, but if you don't get started, you'll never get better. And then by posting regularly, your content becomes better, because you go, oh, okay, now I watch it back. Ooh, the lighting was a little funny. The audio wasn't as good. Maybe I should have edited the clip here instead of here. And you learn, but you can't learn, Ronnie, if you don't get started. And I've been telling you that for years, man. And anyone in the chat, if you're thinking of doing a YouTube channel, that is what you need to do. You need to just get started.
And I agree, man. I remember when we were first starting to do the filming. Remember when we were in the tunnel in the gutter, and we were putting music to it, and I was doing my own copyright royal-free music. Like the techno, the soundscape per se, and just that mixed with drone footage would be amazing. And putting more and more content up on a weekly, monthly basis.
Well, Ronnie, I don't know if you know, but I just started a second channel called The World of Nature, right? So it's not the world of art anymore, it's The World of Nature. And I don't know why it didn't click to me because of where I live, I mean, if you live in a nice naturey place, you could do a channel like this too. But right now, with all the stuff going on with the pandemic, I did a video where it was snowing. I put it in slow motion, 4K, and I slowed it down, and the snowflakes are falling. And I set the camera up in the middle of a river, that river that you walked by when you came out and visited, one of those rivers. And I set the camera up, and then I slowed it down when I was editing it. And now I've got a channel. It's made me decide to do a channel of just this slow meditation kind of sounds and nature and stuff like that. But I'm also mixing in some drone stuff for it.
Awesome.
So if you got a drone, you could make your own music. And that's my plan eventually, is on this nature channel for all my drone videos, is to actually break out the keyboard and break out Pro Tools or whatever editing software, GarageBand, whatever, and write my own calming meditation music as I'm watching the edited footage. So I'll edit the footage together and then just play music to the footage. I mean, I know it's not like the old band, but it's still going to give me a music fix.
No, it's good. I like it.
Let me answer this guy's question. John asked if I think the GoPro Hero 9 will have 8K video. I sure hope not, John, because what I really hope the GoPro Hero 9 has is a combination of the GoPro Max and the Hero 8 smushed together into one camera, and you would have the ultimate badass camera that no other camera could come close to touching. Because the GoPro Max obviously is a 360 camera, but it has hero mode. But that hero mode on the GoPro Max is lacking because it can't do 4K, it can't do 240 frames a second, can't do 120 frames a second even. It can only do 60 frames a second in 1080. The 1080 part is not a big deal to me, but there are people out there that's a deal breaker. They want that 4K. And then to be able to switch back and forth with a push of a button to 360 and then back to action to that locked horizon, because the GoPro Max has a locked horizon mode that will, no matter what you do, keeps it from moving at all. That is what GoPros should do, in my opinion. And if they do that, they will dominate the action market hands down. All right. Sorry. I hope that answers your question. But I think it's too early for them to waste money doing 8K. Nobody can watch 8K. Barely anybody can watch 8K right now. And barely anybody does, because the majority of people still watch YouTube on a phone.
I mean, what is 8K?
So 1080 is your resolution that
most
people have on a TV now. It used to be 720. Actually, I still have two 720 TVs at home. I haven't bothered updating them just because of the resolution. They still look great. Eventually, I'm going to update and I'll get a 4K. I will not be buying an 8K. It's just, it's almost like one of these things. They make something new with new resolution just to get you to buy something else. And for people who are just money just burning a hole in their pocket, sure, buy what you got to buy. You know, a lot of people buy a new phone every single year. Some people buy 2 new phones a year. I try to go about 2 years before I upgrade.
I'm shocked that you went to Android. I just don't understand that. Is that an Android?
This is an Android.
Why did you switch?
Because I wanted to try something different, and this will be one of the only phones that I keep just for a year. Because although I like a lot of the things about this phone, I miss AirDrop. I miss AirDrop so much. It's so much easier for me because all my other devices have AirDrop and this one doesn't. There are ways to get the files and stuff from this to the other devices that aren't too hard, but AirDrop is just so convenient. To answer Tim's question here, he said he's scared to edit, but he's going to have to learn. And yes, Tim, nobody taught me to edit. If you go back when you have time, Tim, okay, let me find a video for you guys. I don't know if I should play it for the whole group. That's pretty bad. Or if you want to watch it later, let me know in the comments while I'm finding it. You guys answer that. If you want to see a bit of one of my first YouTube videos, it's horrible. I can play you like 30 seconds of it. I'm just going to, you guys can't see it.
I'm trying to get tiny better. We'll get this all tweaked out.
All right, let's see here. So my first video, how would I find that?
What year would that be? 2009? No, it'd be 2011.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is going to be so bad. So this is not my first video ever on YouTube. This is my first video when I decided I actually wanted to make videos all the time and try to make something out of my YouTube. The date of this, let me get it ready here. The date was September 16th, 2016. And that was when I made this. So if you guys want to see a moment of it, okay, we got at least one person saying yes, play it, play it. 2 people saying play it. 2 people's enough. Ronnie, you're probably going to remember this, so you can laugh at it too. It's pretty bad. So let me see right here. We're going to share that.
Oh, yeah.
Sharing. Okay, guys. So give me just a second. We're going to make that full screen so you guys can just see that. All right, let me get this off the screen. I wasn't really sleeping. This is my first YouTube video, like where I thought I was going to take this stuff seriously, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Nostalgia, it's not horrible.
Completely faking that I was even asleep, practicing trying to edit, and boom, I took another camera and filmed a different direction just because I was like, oh, I can make it look like here to there.
The motherland, Houston, Texas.
Hopefully you guys can hear the audio on this video. If you can, let me know in the chat. If you can't, let me know in the chat.
I'm going to take a bike ride. Try and get at least 10 miles on the ride today. I'm trying to lose some weight.
Damn, I'm still trying to lose that
Sort of
weight.
my day off. Ran some today. For
I mean, look at how there's no energy to this video.
Yeah, so that's what we're
And I have no idea why I was holding a bullet. And who the hell wants to watch me brush my teeth? I mean, this
you eat
is
a bullet for breakfast every morning.
What's that, Ronnie?
Don't you eat a bullet for breakfast every morning?
Yeah, of course.
decided that I'm going to bring my drone. So we're going to pack that up and bring it with us.
And so that is the Blade Chroma. This is one of the drones that got me started into this whole crazy hobby of mine.
Now, this is something that I really love. I always have these awesome notes because my girlfriend is the best. Right now, I'm at this breakfast. Donuts instead of cereal.
Let me see if I can
Yeah,
fast
go for
forward
a
this a
ride.
little bit. It's because, now I'm just going on a bike ride. It's horrible. It's boring. No, Tim, it's not good editing. It's an attempt at editing. I think I've come a long way since then. I think look how shaky the camera is. The cameras you get now are not so shaky. You remember this old neighborhood, Ronnie?
I guess I got
Yeah, I used to catch turtles in that creek, man. I remember.
Yeah.
made it to the park. I'm so thankful I brought water.
Okay. Man, I do not miss the humidity in that place. I'm just sweating my butt off there.
Houston's horrible.
For you.
So let's just show you guys the drone sequence. Right?
Here.
We got the drone. This is the
Propellers
Chroma, the Blade
and
Chroma.
batteries in here.
What I thought of as the first portable
Other camera in
drone
here.
out there prior to the Mavic coming out.
Controller.
See how you could break it all apart?
Legs go in here and another water.
Which one is this?
The body goes in the main padded.
What's that, Ronnie?
So,
What model is this?
That was the Blade Chroma. That was the second big drone I had. The Blade 350 was the first one. Well, yep. Just fly. The thing flew like crap compared to the drones that we know now. And that's it. That's. Let me go ahead and stop this before I bore everyone to death here. But that's it. That was my first trying to take this more serious kind of edit, Tim. So you learn from your mistakes and you get better as you go. If you've seen some of my newer videos, I think the energy on them is better. I think the editing on them is better. The camera work is better. And that's all from, like I said, that was 2016. So that's 4 years of me practicing on my own, trying to make each video better every time. And there's times that I don't. And same with you, Ronnie. Think if you had started back then and stayed with it when I told you to, where your videos would be at this point. You know?
Yeah, I concur. And I think slowly being here where I'm at, I have more capability. So I will be getting more into it, especially at these current times. No gym,
Yeah.
but I'm actually going to start recording more music on a GarageBand again, and doing my editing with iMovie because that's what I have for now.
I mean, I still think do whatever makes you happy, because if you're doing a content that you're not enjoying, and to grow a channel faster, you need to keep it really about that content. That's one of the reasons my channel has grown so slow since 2016, is look how all over the place my channel has been, from drones to snowboarding to moving to vlogs to all this other stuff. It just never, it didn't stay narrow into one niche. So that makes a channel grow a little slower because it's hard to actually get subscribers. Now, I've gotten a huge watch amount compared to my amount of subscribers. I'm now almost up to 4.5 million views with only about to hit 12,000 subscribers, where most other channels that have 12,000 subscribers aren't even close to 4 million views even.
You have 4 million views?
I have almost 4.5 million views now.
12,000 subscribers? That's amazing.
Yep. No, I'm about to hit 12,000. Jake Sloan is in the room there. He's another YouTuber, and he actually has his is a great example of staying with a narrow niche, because his channel actually has gotten more subscribers than mine. His is actually over mine, which is totally cool. Love to see people growing, but that is a great example of keeping your content sort of around the same subject, and you will get more subscribers faster. Now, again, like I was saying with myself, doing some videos and jumping all over the place, I'll do a video that sort of goes viral. I've got one that's got 700,000 views. I've got another one, totally different content, that's got like 200, 300,000 views. And then I do stuff that stays on topic, and then those will get smaller amounts of views, but they're steady. So if you can stay on topic with one subject, let's say you were going to do just health stuff and you did just that, you would grow faster than if you did health stuff and then mixed in some of your band music stuff on the same channel.
Right. Yeah. You got to
separate those if you want.
Separate divisions, separate channels.
So Jake actually just confirmed that. He said, I think Jake is at 13,000 subscribers now. I think that's about right. I can't remember for sure, but he verified in the comment that he just passed 1 million views. So I'm not saying that being all over the place gets you more views. That's not what I'm saying at all. So please don't think that. What I'm saying is that I've just been lucky by being all over the place, and sometimes talking about a subject that people search for, I get huge views. But if my whole channel had been just about that subject, when those people found that and the views went huge, more people would have subscribed, because then they go back and they look at the channel and they say, well, oh, that was cool. Let me go look and see if he's got more of that. And then they come find drone content or GoPro content, which is not what they were hoping to find. So then they don't hit subscribe.
Right.
And subscribing is great. In a sense, subscribing, once you get past 1,000 subscribers, the only other benefit of having a lot of subscribers is two benefits. One, you build a community, right? And in that community, you get to know, like I recognize Jake, I recognize Chris Hope, I recognize other people in the chat, and Agent K, for example, and just people who comment on videos that I make and get to sort of know me. And by them commenting on the videos, I get to know them, especially by hosting these live things that I've been doing this week. You get to build this community. So that's a pretty damn cool thing. And then secondly, if you, the other benefit of having a lot of subscribers is that companies are sort of stupid. Okay. These companies that send free stuff, they're a little slow, a little stupid on how this works. They think that having subscribers means you get more views. Okay. And sometimes it does. However, they can't see your view count. They can only see your subscriber count. So if a company sees you have 50,000 subscribers, they don't know how many views you actually get typically on your videos. So they're more likely to send something free for you to review to the 50,000 subscriber guy versus someone with 10,000 subscribers. So that's another thing that subscribers actually end up counting for more than views. But views and watch time is how you actually get paid through YouTube directly. So if you have more people viewing your content with a longer watch time, you'll make more money through YouTube analytics directly. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody and yourself, Ronnie.
No, completely.
And Brady says, not sure why, but I have the urge to buy a new Mavic Pro 2. I assume you're talking about the Pro, or are you talking about the original Mavic Pro? Because I would probably buy the new Air 2 over the original Mavic Pro in a heartbeat, Brady. The original Mavic, I'd buy it if you want it as a piece of history, but that's pretty much with all these new drones coming out and the price differences. I would definitely consider getting that Air 2 over the original Mavic Pro. All right, Ronnie, give me a second to go through this chat and see if there are questions for anybody.
Fighting because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, do whatever you got to do. I'm going to catch up on. I got behind on the chat. Sometimes I'll go off these tangents. You know. Where were we? I'm way behind on these. You take your time. It'll take me just a minute. Oh, I went too far. Okay, and again, guys, if there's anything that you're asking me in the chat and I miss it, just ask it a couple times and eventually I will see it. It's hard for me to keep everything in order here when I'm doing this by myself. Okay, question. Do I think the Mavic Air 2 will have OcuSync 3.0? No, it's Bricktown. It's been confirmed that the Mavic Air 2 will have OcuSync 2.0. If there's going to be a 3.0, I think we're going to have to wait and see if maybe the Mavic 3 comes with that. I don't think this Monday's release on the Mavic Air 2 will have that. Let's see. Oh, nice. Little Mountain Life found me from Xeno Nation Live. That's awesome, man. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. I like your screen name, by the way, and your
cool
picture there with the little mountain in the tree. That's nice. All right, so I played the video. You guys saw how I came from crappier videos to better videos. And in 4 more years from now, I'm going to look at videos that I made now, and those are going to suck to me compared to the ones I'm doing 4 years from now. So like the whole story back to where we started is you just have to start. If you have even considered it, you just have to start. Make 1 video a week. That's it. Even if it sucks, just do it. Because you're never going to get anywhere if you don't just start. All right, let's see. All right, we're getting caught up. Jake said hello. Yeah, I said hi to Jake. Ray Bob's Annex is in the room. Nice to meet you. Night Train's in the room. Jake agreed. He says exactly. Just passed 1 million views. We talked about that already. Okay. Jake is really close to hitting that 13,000 mark. That is awesome. I still want to know what you did, Jake. I want to know if you can backtrack to where your growth spiked and see if there was one video or if you changed something that you remember on your channel to help with subscriber growth. Because my channel has plateaued and just it's this bar that's this gradual bar. There's no spike. It is what it is, though. Let's see what else we got here. Scouts Honor says 11.2, falling behind. I feel you, Scouts Honor. I've got people that are passing me up left and right on original Dobo. His channel passed mine like crazy. Jake's has passed mine. My friend from Tech Drone Media, him and I used to be the exact. We were at 1,000 subscribers each at the same time years ago before I moved away, and his has got like 30 or 40,000 now. So, you know, I think. And this could be me being paranoid, but I do think that having an old channel and reviving it, like, because my channel's from 2008. Do you remember, Ronnie, when I was doing those videos with the time-lapse airbrushing and the makeup stuff?
In the warehouse days.
Yes, exactly, the warehouse days. But I used that same channel many, many years later in 2016 to revive it. So 8 years after this channel sat there with almost nothing happening to it. And the rumor is that if you have a channel that sits like that, it is really hard to revive it and make it actually grow as fast as if you just built a brand new channel and just started it from scratch. So Ronnie, if you do start a channel, you know, the channel you had that was music, don't use that one. Start a brand new one.
No, I'm planning to. I'm going to leave it alone.
So that's it. And that's just a rumor. I can't confirm that or anything. YouTube will not confirm that for me, but I have talked to other people that have done the same thing, and they said they have succeeded to get the channel to grow, but it was a bitch compared to just
because people forget about it, or just it's old.
Well, supposedly the reason for that is because it sat so long that YouTube's algorithm, it's all a computer, thinks that nobody likes that channel anymore. It's just dead. So when you start building it again, it takes longer for YouTube to go, oh, he's taking it serious. Let's start pushing content his way again. Or that's what I hear. But I have no idea. I don't work at YouTube.
Start a whole new channel.
That's what I would suggest. So that's what I did with the World of Nature channel. I actually started a brand new channel, signed up for something completely new, and we'll see. I'm at I think 50 something subscribers right now on it. It's so weird starting from scratch when you're at 12,000 and you're starting completely from scratch. It's pretty weird. I'll post a link to it if anyone's interested. I would love to get some more subscribers to this. And if you're into drone stuff and nature stuff, then this channel is probably right up your alley. I will post this. Oops, hold on just a second. Let me post a link to this video, which I'm about to share with everybody here. And I'm going to write subscribe, and I will show it a little bit in the background here. It's just some drone stuff that you guys might like. And we'll put it in the background here. I'll turn the volume down. Just let it play in the background while we're talking. You might like this. This is some pretty cool stuff. Some really gorgeous shots in this. All right, let's go ahead and make that full screen. And if that music is too loud, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just stay there. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see that, Ronnie?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It just blows my mind. I live like 10, 15 minutes from that. You know, like, okay, so see that road? If you go around, well, you can't see it now, but if you would go on and take that road to the right, my house is just down there by like 10 minutes.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's go back to the chat while that plays in the background. There's some nice, beautiful shots you guys can watch while we talk instead of just looking at our ugly mugs, right? Okay, so Andrew said hi. Hello, Andrew. Night Train says, I post DVR video and get more comments and interaction with them than the HD footy and great tune. All right, let me get home and I can be more active. Yeah, no worries, man. And Jake, if you want to jump in later, or if you'd rather be a guest tomorrow and we jump in and talk like I'm doing with Ronnie tonight, I'm totally cool with that. I'm experimenting with this StreamYard instead of OBS, and it's really easy to use, Jake. It's so easy to use if you haven't tried to use it. But I would love to sit down and shoot the crap with you. Let's see. Night Train says, I can't wait to mix it up this summer with the Mavic Mini and some B-roll. The Mavic Mini's camera, that's the one I was telling you, Ronnie, it was $399.
Mm-hmm.
The camera on that thing is great, and it flies great unless you're at really high altitude and really high winds. So for you, I think it would be a great starter drone. It just doesn't have all the sensors.
Right.
This is Journeyman says, fly a naked drone or a drone naked. You don't want to see me naked, man. I got to get into shape first. then we'll see what happens from there. How long? Cooking made easy. How long did it take to get my first 100 subscribers on this channel? A long time, because I wasn't taking it seriously. I didn't know the things I needed to know about it. Like Ronnie is pretty lucky because I've shared every secret I know, and then the guy still won't make his channel go. So you guys,
make a new channel. Don't worry.
Tell him to start, dude. You know what? I'm gonna go see how many subscribers you have on your channel right now.
Hardly any.
What is your channel under? Just your name?
Yeah.
So this.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
You go right ahead.
I gotta try to fix this light.
With your channel. Here we go. He's got 10 subscribers. Okay, and he started his channel in. I cannot see that. He doesn't have his information filled out. But he was basically doing music with just a static image, and it was his original music. And here is a link to his. You guys can see. This is what happens if you start a channel and just desert it. It won't grow. He's got maximum of 72 views on one of his videos. His average video gets about probably 40 views. So by just ignoring it like that, you can't grow your channel. That's why you have to get started, like I said earlier, but then you also have to actually use it. You can't just not use it. You know, the whole saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is 100% true. Jake, yes, all right. You let me know. Tomorrow's totally cool. If you're good with like 9 o'clock, that's what I'm doing every night. And then on Monday, I'm going to do start at like at 6:30 my time, which in Alaska, what would that be? 5:30 probably. And Ed Ricker is going to join me on Monday. I don't know if Tech Drone Media is going to join me, but I want to get a group of us on here on Monday, like quite a few of us. So if you're down for that on tomorrow, what's tomorrow is Saturday, tomorrow night, and then come back on Monday and we'll do both. And we'll watch the DJI event live and then talk about what we saw. I think that would be pretty dope.
That's beautiful footage, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Agent K says, get into shape, Sean, and this late show might turn into a late show. I was getting into shape, Agent K. I was going to CrossFit like 2-3 times a week, and everything closed, and now I sit around at home and eat cookies.
They're in Russia, I think.
What's that?
I think they're in Russia. That name was in Russian.
Agent K?
Yeah.
Agent K, where are you out of again? He's been on the channel for a while, man. I don't know his real name. He just always says, just call him K. But where are you based out of, Agent K? I can't remember if you've told me before. And yes, Jake, that sounds awesome. Tomorrow night at 9, we'll get together a little bit before the show starts, and we'll talk. We'll talk how it is to film yourself. Like let's talk about how to use these drones, the Skydio, Mavics, whatever, action cameras, on how to actually film ourselves and edit that content. I think that might be helpful for people, because you and I both have a similar thing, how we hike in the mountains and do all this stuff. And people think it's easy. Man, it's not easy to do, to go up and set a camera up after you've hiked, set a camera around, hike down, and then hike back up just to get a 2-second shot of you walking up a mountain. Agent K is a cool dude. Yeah, he's been around a while, man. He's always pretty funny. I like his sense of humor. And AZ Drone says, hey, Sean and guest. And we've got almost 20 people in here now, Ronnie. Let's introduce you again. Let's introduce, this is my guest. Let me bring you up a little bigger. We'll come back to the drone shots in a second. This is my buddy, Ronnie Copel. He is a visual artist. That is his painting you see in the background there. The guy does all kinds of crazy Jackson Pollock-y kind of style paintings, and he's really good at it, as well as he's an incredible bass player and used to be the bass player in my band when we were all together as The Abyss. We got to open for some acts like Public Image Limited, which is Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols is the singer of that. We got to do open for Orgy. We got to open for Peter Murphy, which is the singer from Bauhaus, godfather of goth, they call him. And those are all bands that we.
Jane's Addiction book.
What's that?
In a Jane's Addiction biography book.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we were published in the Jane's Addiction book as a band influenced by Jane's Addiction and included in the CD that came with it. What else did we what was his name? Jim Rose from the Jim Rose Circus contacted. This is right when the band was falling apart. Contacted me about us going on tour for 1.5 years, and we were going to get paid like $20,000. I'm going to tell the story, dude. You see him shaking his head. It's his fault that we didn't get it. We can still do it. No, we're too old now. Look, we'd have to be more like Mushroom Head, like wear a mask or something.
Well, you're saying we pay a lot of ugly tax? I think we're handsome-looking men.
Dude, it's weird. I have people all the time that think I'm 38, and I am 46 or 47. How old are you, dude?
I'll be 46 this July 1st.
Okay, so I'm 46 then, because I'm a year older than you. I wasn't sure if I was 47 already. Man, time sucks as you get older.
You're a July baby, too.
Yeah.
July
so I'm a year older than you, though. So we had this guy offer us to go on tour for 1.5 years. For 1.5 years and get paid $20,000.
American tour.
Huh?
It was the first year and a half was North America, and after that was Eastern. I mean,
Yeah.
Europe.
Amazing. And it just the band fell apart right when that offer had come. And since we didn't have something ready to go right then, I'll tell you, I've been on a lot of TV shows and a lot of the little things and worked with Hollywood stuff. And it's all about right now when they want it, or wait. But when they say right now, if you don't jump exactly, then it's a ready to go. They go on to the next person every single time. Unless you're a huge name already, that is how it works in the entertainment industry. So they went on to somebody else, and we didn't get the gig. So
yeah, but did you hear who was on that tour or who was on the list?
I never did find out the details of it.
I think that'd be cool to find out.
For those of you into music, Jim Rose actually is friends with Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails.
We started
with the Lollapalooza tour.
The first Lollapalooza leg.
Yep, the first Lollapalooza. That was Jim Rose, and they had the Crush Cage and the Jim Rose circus act there. It was good stuff, man. Good memories.
It's some amazing footage, man. I mean, it's beautiful there. Where is that in Colorado?
That stream is literally like a half a mile from my house.
So it's Dillon.
Yep, I can walk right to that stream. So right out of the neighborhood. Agent K, he says he can't reveal where he's from. It's secret. He's a secret agent and can't disclose that information.
Well, we'll keep it that way.
Jake says he's not kidding, Sean. I'm surprised you and I aren't both ripped to crap. You know, it's surprising that you don't lose more weight hiking up a mountain. I guess if I did it daily, maybe I'd lose more. But I'll tell you, Jake, during this whole thing, I've been eating so many cookies. I'm not surprised. At least I was putting on the muscle mass again from the CrossFit. And now I put on the cookie mass, and I'm bounced out at least.
I was going to the gym every day for an hour for lunch, and now I've been reprimanded by a 5-year-old and chained and whipped because I eat the double stuffed Oreo cookies. I eat them in 2 days, a whole pack or 2 or 3 packs. So it's I feel the burn.
Dude, if I get a pack of cookies, they're gone within a day, maybe 2 tops.
What are yours?
Cookies and cake are my weakness. Twinkies and shit like that. Oh, I just don't buy them because I know if I buy them, they're gone. They're gone. The kids don't even get any. I'll push the kids out of the way.
Yeah, there's Midnight Madness with the spoons of Nutella and vitamin D milk, and it's nightmares.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Thanks for the introduction, Sean. Nice to meet you, Ronnie. Ronnie, if you got anything you would – so AZ drone, I was telling you, Ronnie does not own a drone. He's been considering it for the longest time. And with the Mavic Mini and the Mavic 2 Air being released, we were talking to him earlier about his thoughts on if the extra features that the Mavic 2 Air offer, seeing that he doesn't really know much about them, except that he's seen me fly them and he knows people with them, is that extra $400 actually worth it for someone like him that's going to hopefully get into the hobby? Is it worth it over the Mavic Mini, which is just $399? What do you guys think? Give him some advice in the comments on what he should do.
Yeah, because I'm lost. I really am. I would love to get into it, but I want, to spend something on a good investment, just not just $300 and then later on have to spend another $500, et cetera, et cetera.
You wouldn't have to unless you got super into it. In my opinion, if you're just like you said earlier, getting your feet wet, then you really don't have to do a whole. You could do a lot with just the Mavic Mini. The camera on that thing. See, this one you're watching right now, how it's zooming in the waterfall.
Yeah.
I'm not flying towards the waterfall because I don't want to get the drone all covered in water. It's the one I have actually has a zoom feature. It's the Mavic 2 Zoom, and you can do exactly what you're seeing right there. Original Dobo just joined in. Says, "Is this like happy hour?" I wish, man, but all I've got is the Dr. Pepper can. So no shots from it. Well, it looks like Ronnie's taken care of.
We don't talk about
the moonshine. You got the moonshine tonight, Ronnie?
Oh, I don't know. It's a mason jar, so I know.
So yeah, I'm
not a hillbilly. I'm an actual artist, rock star that loves the country.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, look where I moved to. I must, even though I'm a city boy myself, I incredibly enjoy,
We're surfers. We grew up surfing. Do people know we used to surf? I started surfing when I was 11. How old were you?
Us in bodyboarding. I was pretty young when I started bodyboarding. I didn't have a surfboard. But yeah, there's that video is over. So there we go. Back to us. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And Ken, the original Dobo, says he likes what you're drinking, Ronnie.
Yeah.
If you're just joining in, Ken, we're trying to talk to Ronnie here. He is not a drone owner. I tried doing something a little different and bringing an actual buddy of mine on here that has never owned a drone, who's been curious about him for a long time, and to see if the Mavic Air 2 is a better choice for him or the Mavic Mini, because he doesn't know if he's going to like the hobby. Spending that $399 versus $799, if that's what the actual price is. That's still rumored, of course. And so that's something that I've been talking to him about, as well as, what hopefully some of you guys in the chat can talk to him about as well. And Ken, you want to let me know if you got pants on tonight. Ken, you're more than welcome to jump in with us and talk. We can have multiple people in this. It's a really easy setup.
Didn't know pants were required.
Oh, Ken says, get a potato. It's better return on investment than a drone. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I've actually been on a kick through this whole stay-at-home thing. I've been buying potatoes, wrapping them in plastic wrap, putting some butter in there, throwing it in the microwave for 10 minutes, pulling it out, chopping it in half, getting some pre-made chopped brisket, throwing that on there, putting it in there for another minute, throwing it back in there, putting some cheese on it, taking it out, and then just putting Stubbs barbecue sauce all over it. And those.
Do you use the spicy Stubbs or do you use the regular Stubbs?
It's a regular Stubbs.
And do you remember when we played in Austin, Texas, and down at Stubbs, Danzig was playing, and we got a full concert with his sound check of 20 songs?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember Danzig doing a sound check. Yep. So if you guys are interested in seeing Ronnie and I on stage, I could probably pull up a video that's on YouTube.
Do the Peter Murphy one. That's the highest quality. It's got great.
That was the one with Spike, I think.
Yeah, Spike.
So that was All We Have, the name of the song, and that was The Abyss. Let me see what comes up. All right, let's see. I think Bill was playing with us on that, huh?
No, it's just me, you, and Spike.
Well, what is that? That is the wrong one. That's not the
wrong one. That was
Vintage Pub. No.
Look up Peter Murphy, The Abyss Peter Murphy. It pops up. The Abyss band Peter Murphy.
All right, let's see. The Abyss opening for Peter Murphy at Scout Bar. I think that must be it right there. Then
blue, purplish.
Yeah, let me see. Yep, that's got to be it. Let me just pause that. Turn the volume up. Does anybody actually care? Hey, Grumpy Vlogger is in the room. Yeah, that's Lloyd. See, I'm saying, Ronnie, this drone community, everybody really gets to know each other.
That's good.
Also, the Journeyman says you should get the Mavic Mini with that beard.
Why, so I can put it in here like a bird?
I don't think you're going to put them. You don't want to put the drone in your beard, dude.
Carry it instead of having a case. I keep it warm.
It would get so caught up in your hair. That's actually funny because Ken, the original Dobo over here, he's been learning FPV drone, which is where you put goggles on, Ronnie, and you fly around like you're actually sitting on the drone. And he's got a small one that he's flying around in his house, and like his wife and kid are walking around in it. And I'm waiting for him to post a video where he wrecks, hits her in the hair, and it just gets caught in her hair. And I know this from personal experience of a non DJI or non FPV drone that I've actually, when I got that Blade Nano, I screwed up and got that caught in somebody's hair before, and I thought that was hilarious. So there we go. He says Mini with that beard. John says Ken should be able to come on even without pants. Well, that'd be great because then all of us would not have pants on. AZ Drone says Ronnie, buy the Mavic Air 2 and give it to Sean if you don't like it. I like his thinking. Let me tell you how much the Mavic Air 2 is, give or take $1,600. So yeah,
Okay.
I like his thinking. If you don't like it, you can just give it to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking the Mavic Pro 2. No, the Mavic Air 2 is the $799 one we were talking about earlier. There's so many different versions of Mavics, it's becoming confusing. John says potatoes are excellent for use for all ages. And there's a grumpy blogger saying hello. What else we got? All right, so we'll show this video real quick. Share screen. This is a band video. We won't show you the whole song. I think it's like 3 or 4 minutes. But if you're familiar
with the first chorus.
what you want me to fast forward to the chorus?
No. Watch it to the first chorus because the filming's like Saturday Night Live. It's really cool.
Oh, this is one of my early edits too. Somebody else filmed it.
But the cool thing about this was the audio was on something separate than the video, and it just turned out great.
Synced it. Is it? I can't remember. I haven't played
And it sounds amazing through headphones and surround sound.
So you could probably guess Ronnie on stage. I don't think he had the beard like this on
If
stage.
you're looking at me, I'm on stage right, and Sean, you're on stage. Well, from the audience, I'm to the right, Sean's on the left.
All right, so let's play just a couple minutes of this, or a couple seconds.
There's Sean bending down. I'm on the right with a suit on.
Let me make it a little bigger. Can you guys hear the audio on that, or do I need to turn it up?
Turn it up.
I love this song.
Yeah, this is great.
I always wanted to do a song that talked about the song that I was in the middle of singing, and this is that song.
Yeah. This is really cool footage because the crowd gets bigger through the video. They start packing in. What the sad thing is, the guys can't see on the videos. This thing's about 300 foot deep and packed with people.
Yeah, it was a pretty good crowd that night.
We opened up for Peter Murphy, the guy who used to. It's amazing. Something we used to watch on MTV, and next thing you know, we're opening up for him. And Spike plays in another project with Dave Navarro sometimes. He's the guitar player, Jane's Addiction.
Right.
And
That's who the first. That's. We don't want to bore everybody that's not into music.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. I told you about that earlier. Oh, we have somebody else coming into the stream, guys. So take a guess and let's welcome him. I think everyone in the live chat knows this guy. Boom, right there. It's Ken. Ken, meet Ronnie. Ronnie, meet Ken.
Hey,
What's going on, Ronnie? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
What do you do with your audio? Always sounding so good. What are you using tonight?
Yeah, that is really
Honestly, nothing. I've got an AirPod in. I didn't even set up the actual camera. I'm using my MacBook, which I never really use.
You just have the voice then, dude. It's all
maybe,
about the voice, I guess.
Maybe. It could just be the voice. I don't know, man.
So did you get rid of that frog out of your toilet?
I got rid of the frog out of the toilet. Can you believe that, man? Can you, like, of all the things, man?
At least it wasn't a snake. You always hear horror stories of snakes coming up the toilet. I'd much rather a frog jump on my nuts than a snake bite me on the balls.
This is true, man. This is true. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Like, unbelievable. That's Florida for you, you know?
Yeah, man. At least it wasn't. It could have been a leech, an alligator, anything in Florida. It could have been
it could have been a snake.
Off.
He left the way he came, though. He went back down the drain. Like, I was going to flush him, and he left all on his own.
Are you sure?
Dude, I watched him leave. I have a video of him leaving.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He swam down the thing?
He swam back down the hole. I don't know where he went. No, it's a frog, dude. It's a Cuban. They call them Cuban tree frogs.
Are you in Florida, Miami, or
No, I'm in not Little Havana. It's Tampa. So it's like Little Cuba.
That's insane because that's got to be quite a bit of a little bit of a swim for him to get back to where you can get out of that.
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking it's like Dory, dude. Finding Nemo. All drains lead to the ocean.
You're right.
It's true.
Or to the
It's so
top.
true. Exactly. So, you getting psyched for the Mavic Air 2, Sean?
Man, I'll tell you what. At first, I wasn't at all. At first, I was not at all because I really like my original Mavic Air, except for the Wi-Fi. I can't stand the Wi-Fi. The flight time doesn't bother me, but I like the form factor.
Really?
How small it is. Yeah, I got 4 batteries, so
Okay,
I
that's fair.
got plenty of batteries. I can just swap one out. I'm never going to complain if it lasts longer. But
I'm excited, man, because I like the Mavic Mini. I like the size of the Mavic Mini, but I didn't like the fact that there was no OcuSync. So in cities or in urban areas, you really get a lot of breakup. You don't get that same consistency. There's a delay, like a little bit of the delay. So I'm pretty stoked about this.
I'm going to actually, while you guys talk about that for a second, I'm going to find a video showing Wi-Fi delay. It's an older drone. It's the Blade Chroma, but it was
You really beat that Blade Chroma to the ground, dude. I've heard Blade Chroma from your mouth too many times.
It's where it all began. It's where it all began, man. Going back to the history.
Yeah, but it's really the Mavic Mini's got some pretty bad delay depending on what area you're in. It's still a good value, still a great value for a drone, but I'm excited about the Air 2's like the overall design, that they're truing up the design of the drone. You know what I mean?
And what's interesting is because I actually like the old Air design better at first. However, the new leaked pictures that came out yesterday, it looks much more aggressive than the Zoom or the Air even.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like a Mavic, it's like the Mavic Mini design, like sort of that, but like not quite a Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 Zoom look. I don't know. It's sort of like in between. I think it's good. I
do have a question.
Yes.
The only question is Maverick the top dog? I mean,
so Mavic, first, let me correct you. It's Mavic.
Mavic.
Maverick.
I've heard it pronounced different ways though.
Yeah, but anyway,
I've heard it pronounced Mavic.
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 Okay, that's you know what? Okay, that would have a little bit more credibility than Maverick because there's no R in there. So, but no, it is. DJI makes some of the better quality drones out there. I don't think anyone would disagree with that as long as you get a working one. They do have the customer support's hit and miss. We'll just keep it nice like that. It's hit or miss.
I haven't had any problems with their customer service though.
You are a lucky guy.
Didn't they call you directly, Sean, to help them?
Eventually they did after I made a video, after I was so pissed off going like through the worst ordeals ever with their support.
I try to kill them with kindness. You know what I mean? Like, which is odd for me because I can go 0 to batshit crazy quickly. Usually it works out. I just don't do the chat, like the text chat. I don't do that. I hit them up on Twitter.
So I actually, when the original Mavic came out, I called them, and then they sent me a used bag with holes in it and all this stuff. That was just as broken as the first one. And so then I was pissed, and that's when I made a video showcasing what they sent me as a return product. I mean, I was new to, I had only had the other drones before. This was the first DJI product I had. I'd always heard horror stories about their customer support at the time, and it has improved since then. I will give them props for that. They have been working on it, I think, considerably in the last 6 years.
And how many models do they have?
Oh, God. Of the Mavics or just the DJI drones in general?
In general.
Just for that one company?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? 10 or so?
Well, I mean, you got the Phantom line, you've got the Inspire line, you've got the Mavic line, and then you have the Spark at one point. So there's 4, and then that doesn't include their enterprise lineup of drones. But most people don't fly enterprise, so I don't really count those.
And forgive me for backsliding or backtracking. What is the 2020 model called now?
The new one that might come out. Well, we all know the rumors. It to be the Mavic Air 2.
Yeah.
What?
Mavic Air. So it's an Air. Think of like an airplane. Air 2.
Do you have a Mini, Sean?
I do not. I never did buy the Mini. I bought the Skydio 2 instead.
So that's the Mini. So like when you get one of these little guys, Like
that
that's
what
how tiny it is.
was recommending I get, Sean?
Yeah, I mean it's a good starter drone. I mean it's so tiny, and I mean you can throw it in your your bag, take it with you wherever. I mean it's durable. I mean I've taken this apart. I've literally beat the hell out of this thing, and it still keeps on ticking. So I mean it's just a good drone. Like you won't feel bad about spending $400 on this. Like if you spend money on a drone and you don't really know anything about it, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, and then you have buyer's remorse or you don't use it enough. But I never would feel bad. Like if somebody just wanted a drone to have fun, this is an easy recommendation, because whether you use it, once, twice, a couple of times, you're not going to feel bad that it costs, 300, 400 bucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the reason why I recommend this. And like the images are like more than enough for like Facebook or Instagram. Like nobody's going to say, wow, that's a terrible image. I've never heard that.
And Ronnie, for your work, you might actually be able to pull something like it in your work and be like, "Hey guys, let me take an aerial shot of what you're laying out."
John says, "Nice mini skin." Yeah, I wish this was a skin. This is actually
I remember you doing that.
I hydro dipped it. Oh, it's terrible.
Let me get this video showing to these guys real quick. I think I got it set up here, and we'll just play it in the background here.
While y'all doing that, I got to get some more ice.
All right. So this is the latency. Now this is going to be extreme.
That's your house, buddy.
Let me get John's comment out of the way. So this should be extreme latency compared to what we see on like the DJI Wi-Fi drone. But notice on the screen compared to his arm movement.
Oh boy.
You know how hard it used to be to get cinematic shots where the drone was sort of out of sight but in sight? Oh my God, it was horrible. I hated that. I never wanted to get another Wi-Fi drone ever again because of latency like this.
Yeah, that's pretty bad that it had that. I mean, but that was one of the first drones that had, a screen built in. I mean, so I mean, a lot of drones have latency.
Notice the screen was under the controls. Before that, everything was above the controls, like all the phantoms and everything. You do it above. So
I'm gonna be real, dude.
What's that?
I'm gonna be real. Like, the Mavics have spoiled me. I don't know if I can fly anything else. Like just because of that, like that latency. What you talk about is like that timing is crucial. It's crucial.
And OcuSync, well, it was Lightbridge at the time, which was better than this Wi-Fi. And then they came out with OcuSync, and now it's OcuSync 2.0. And that connection, that almost instant connection between what we see and what we do with our controller, it's crucial. It's huge.
I remember what was the drone I had? Oh, it was the X Dynamics Evolve. That had really, really bad latency. And there was a couple times where I almost put it into a post, because by the time I saw the post, it was too late, type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just terrible latency. So hopefully future drones don't have to deal with that.
And this is another thing that the Mavic spoiled me on. If this video plays correctly, yeah, here we go. Come on, load, baby. All right, so check out the red line there. Let me get rid of that ad.
I know that part.
So the Mavic, there's a better test I could show, but the Mavic was so stable in the air when it came out compared to pretty much everything I'd ever flown prior to that. You see how it's just sort of dropped.
Yeah, this has a really bad dip. Yeah, I mean that's literally like, but it's funny the Blade Chroma, now that you mention it, it does look like that Evolve. I think you said that to me too. That looks like the X Dynamics Evolve.
And what do y'all call it? Does that?
It's in black, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
I actually think the Blade Chroma set the standards for a lot of things. Like so, but look at the Mavic go across this line.
Well, that's beautiful.
It just so stable.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to beat DJI, man. Like it really is hard to beat, like the stability and just like the overall performance value. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like even like lately flying the Evo 2, like it's still not as polished as the Mavic 2 lineup. Like I still trust my Mavic 2 so much more.
With the flying characteristics, not so much the camera, but just the way it actually flies.
No, actually all the way across the board. I did a real estate shoot. Yeah, I did a real estate shoot yesterday or 2 days ago. It was Wednesday I did a shoot. And I brought the Evo with me, but I didn't take it out of the car because I was just like, you know what? I know exactly what the Mavic's going to give me as in terms of quality. So I'm just going to use the Mavic because I don't want to have to worry about, oh, do I need to reshoot this house because I didn't get the shot I wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things.
That was actually my only complaint with the original Evo is it just didn't fly the same. Flight characteristics weren't as smooth in a sense. I mean, it's not like it was as bad as what you see right there in the Blade Chroma in those two red boxes. You look at the Mavic Pro just staying in that box, and the Blade Chroma is like just drifting all over the place.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's staying so X, Y, Z.
Yeah, their stability technology to this day, in my opinion, is still some of the best. My Skydio 2 isn't as locked in as any of my Mavics.
The Skydio 2 is just an interesting animal all the way around the board, though, like in what it does. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's definitely different, and that's why I went with the Skydio 2 instead of the Mavic Mini. I felt that for myself that I couldn't get them both. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the Mavic Mini was just it wasn't going to replace my Air or my Zoom. So why not try something different?
I went ripping on the board the other night, and I took the Skydio with me, and I was just like immediately it reminded me like, damn, this thing is really good at following, tracking and just being able to film the scene. And I only had one instance where I was like, uh-oh, like I had a heart attack moment where it sandwiched itself between two power line wires.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, it's not going to see that wire, but somehow it went around it. So, I mean, I guess if you have the right lighting conditions, that drone can really evade a lot of things, but man, is it damn good.
So Ronnie, just so you know, the Skydio 2 is a new, well, they're not a new company, but they came out with a new drone that some of us have gotten that actually has a really good tracking sensors, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And it, you can also fly with a controller like a normal drone, but they push it towards this tracking thing. So you can basically set it up, go on a skateboard like Ken said he was doing. You can go snowboarding with it, whatever, and you sort of set it where you want it to go. And it actually has 6 sensors. Yeah, 6 sensors in it.
Yeah, 6 sensors.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's got 6 sensors.
Yeah, and it's the technology, and it's so advanced that it basically maps out. It sees everything, top and bottom, all around, and can map out what it's supposed to be following and how to avoid everything to continue following that subject.
Well, I saw the DJI. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I sent you that picture once. I'm a surveyor. I'm a land surveyor, a field engineer. I work with civil engineering and architects and stuff. But at the survey shop, they were selling a DJI for excuse me,
Bless you.
to take aerial, but then you use a certain software to do the topographic contour features. It's really cool.
Yeah, Ken's going to know a lot more about that kind of stuff than I probably do.
Yeah, probably could have been like maybe an M210 or something like that, or even sometimes they use Phantoms to do surveying shots. But a lot of times, like an M210, they'll use that to survey because it can stay up in there for like 40 plus minutes. Super easy to swap batteries out. Sometimes I think you can even hot swap those, so they can take a battery out, leave the drone running, pop a new battery in, and get back to what they needed to do. So a lot of capability.
Is that software dummied down, or is it good?
It's not dummied down. It's I wouldn't say it's dummied down. It's just more, commercialized. It's like they stripped out all the fluff that a consumer would want. So it's just really geared to, okay, you want this purpose. Here's what you need. It's very direct software, but it works pretty good though.
Awesome.
Sorry, I was getting.
My question is, would that be,
talking there?
Go ahead.
I was just getting caught up reading the chat room while you guys were talking.
So in my world, if I wanted to make some extra cash flow, and these guys want, hey, I got this pasture, and I really want to know what's really going on. I want to take this acreage of trees and cut it down for my cattle per se, and make more field land. Would that be?
You can do that with almost any DJI product. What I would say in a situation like that, what would be good is there's an application called Drone Deploy, and what you can do is you can do a 3D map of the area. So, for instance, they're going to use that pasture maybe for, let's say, agricultural reasons. What you can do is you can map out that area, and it would tell you the plant life, the elevation. It basically can tell you the health of the terrain.
And knows the graphics that well.
Dude, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah,
You know,
it can do pretty amazing things.
And you can share your thoughts on this too. So if he's working for the company already and gets something like the Mavic Mini or Mavic Air to do stuff like that for the company, but he's not making extra money. They're not paying him to just do that. He's just getting paid his normal fee or salary. Does he have to have a 107?
Still have to have a 107. Yeah, you still have to have a 107.
Not actually working.
It's because
of license.
Technically speaking, it's the act of using a UAV for a purpose that is netting somebody some money. Like, you're flying with the intent that it's going to help this company out. Like, that's the result that company takes. Same reason why, as a real estate agent, they can't take their own photos and post them up on the MLS, because those photos technically are, supposedly going to make them money. It's a gray area. Has the FAA ever come down and fined anybody? I mean, I haven't heard of anybody. It's the same reason why if you ask 90% of the YouTubers that you see online that are here in the States creating content, the vast majority of them don't have a 107 license, because it's that gray area, because they're not actually being paid for the flight. They're being paid for content. So it's a gray area. The FAA knows it's it is honestly a gray area. So they're just not going to pursue that. Plus, there's too many of them. They're not going to waste their time. They got bigger things to fry. So
I guess it would depend on the project, correct?
It would depend on the project. If it's a massive scale project, yeah, they're going to want you to have a 107. And honestly, having a 107 is not a hard thing. It is right now, though. It's hard to have a 107 right now, because most of the testing facilities and sites are closed because of the coronavirus or whatever. I don't want to say it on your show because I know what'll happen. We'll get one of those warnings. But it's one of those things that will, you got to do it.
Speaking of gray areas, so you see the photo on the screen.
Yeah,
something I took. That's a mountain down the road. Took it, edited it, made it for myself for my shop. It's hanging in my shop.
Okay.
Not intended to be sold at all. However, with this whole pandemic going on, there is a city of Silverthorne has put together a auction for us to auction things we want to auction to make some money for our shop and our businesses. So I put this up for sale. Wasn't intended to be sold ever. If somebody came and harassed me because of that right now, they could suck my dick, dude, because the government.
I mean, they're not going to. I mean, they're just not. Like the reality is, they're not a lot of people believe that they're the big bad wolf, and then they're just going to levy fines, unless if you're at just way egregious, you're really trying to go out of your way to become malicious, or like for instance, that guy that landed his drone at McCarran Airport.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, you didn't hear that. So he was flying his Phantom 3 Standard over the strip. He lost control of the drone, and the drone ended up landing at the airport, and it basically caused the airport to shut down. And you can't fly on the strip anyways. It's class airspace.
You got to be outside the city some.
So they did that.
Art just sent a super chat, dude. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Art. You rock also. And when all this calms down, we're gonna get together and do a little flying and road mastering. All right.
That's right, man. He's in your area.
Yeah, he's he's not. Is he in Colorado Springs? Where are you, Art? Are you in Colorado Springs or in Denver?
I thought he was just outside Denver.
That is Dylan. The last time we were there, Sean,
2 hours. What's that, Ron?
I apologize. When I was there at Lake Dillon with you, that was frozen. The sailboats were frozen in the ice, and that is nuts, man. How beautiful. Now, is that a natural or glacier made?
That is runoff water from the mountains. All the snow melts off and forms that lake.
Looks gorgeous, man.
That is so if you look at this picture, I don't think you can see my mouse pointer, but right to the right of the picture, you see the main road that goes across, and then you see the little roads that go through the neighborhood. You follow it out. You see the marina right there, right in the middle of the water. You see all the boats.
Yeah, that's where it was filming.
If we are able to get drone spin up or whatever here, the hotel we're trying to get is right by that marina, so you can walk right across the street.
The only thing I can see a problem with drone spin up here is because of the distance it is from the airport.
I agree, but I've had a lot of people telling me that they like that it's more central instead of all the way down south. So they would.
I mean, it would just be hard because of the you'd have to fly into Denver, and I don't know like an hour or 2 hours from Denver.
It's about an hour to hour and 20 minutes, depending on how fast.
Yeah, I could see that being the only thing. The biggest problem, like the only way spin up's going to grow bigger is if it becomes more convenient, though.
I do agree with that. I also think that the biggest issue I worry about is that it is at 9,200 feet here. And
Billy says, I look drunk and I need to go to sleep. He's such a dick, dude.
You don't look drunk.
I mean, I've had a few.
What, are you drinking? Whiskey?
Well, this is like tequila sangria. There's like
You're fine. You're a soldier. Hey, tell Billy.
We keep going.
Billy, we all pay ugly tax, brother. We ain't no spring chickens anymore.
I mean, it is what it is.
No.
If I stand up, I'm still in my boxers, but I mean, we're not going to go there.
So this is
do we have to
where drone spin up is now? That's probably about 40.
Hey, that's your dad's place.
That is my dad's place.
Yeah, I mean, even Austin is like a hard place. Like now, where he had it this year was good because I mean, it was a little like that was a good convenient location. It was closer than Round Rock, but I mean, even Austin is like it's a hard spot to have it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because it's like it's not a major. There's not a major city to fly into, so sometimes you got to take connecting flights. I mean, it needs to be somewhere where you can fly, it's scenic, but it's somewhere where a lot of the audience is. You know what I mean? But I don't even know if he's going to have it this year with all this crap that's going on. A lot of shows are canceling.
We're talking about it, but it's probably a lot of the people I've talked about that in these live chats. We've talked a little bit, and a lot of people say even if it goes on, they're not coming this year because they are older and they don't want to take a chance.
Right.
Flying.
Right. I mean, yeah, if you think about it, look at the average audience that was there.
Yeah. And I can't blame them one bit. So if we have it this year, I don't think I'd want to have it here because I think the numbers would be down so low here because of
mostly is New Mexico, Texas,
Arizona would be cool. Somewhere in Arizona. I mean, it's still dry, but like
Arizona would be a good state. It's very dry. There's nothing humidity. I think that the environment would be the best.
I mean, and there's a lot of scenic stuff to fly. I want to fly Arizona because I mean, it's like
Salt Lake
Utah would be good. I would go Utah.
So close to still beautiful stuff. You don't have to drive an hour to get to it.
And you can have two wives there in Utah.
Anybody guess which this picture was taken of with?
GoPro?
Well, it looks like it could be a drone picture, right?
iPhone.
All right. I know nobody's going to. Yeah, it was a damn iPhone.
I know.
All right. Let's see. Spin up New York. John says New York. I don't know, man. I don't think we'd have a lot of flying areas in New York, do we?
Rochester, New York? Maybe?
Yeah. No, maybe.
Has a lot of banned areas.
What about Maine? What about Maine?
Billy in the chat? You want Billy to jump in here with us so he can give you some shit in real life?
He won't
jump in the chat?
He won't jump in.
Billy, jump in the chat. Okay.
Billy won't jump in.
We'll see. I'll give him an invite anyways.
He won't do it. He won't do it. He'll have an excuse.
Call him out. Billy, you scared? What's up? Billy Kyle, gonna send you a Facebook message with the link.
I think he's got you blocked, Sean.
He's blocking me right now. Huh?
I'm just joking. I'm joking, Sean. He's got you muted.
All right. If you want to jump in, Billy, just send you the thing. All right. Where are we at? Oh, so Jake loves the stuff. Yeah, that's Jake. If you ever want to get together, man, Billy is texting me. Did he text you too? He said, "Don't do this to me."
Why? I mean, look, I'm on.
What did he say to you, kid?
Oh shit.
Oh, same thing. He sent us both. I didn't see the first part of the text till just now.
I saw it as soon as it came across.
Oh, that's
As soon
funny.
as it came across.
He's
But
dropping.
that's what I do. That's a lot of time when I'm popping into people's live streams. That's because that's what's going down. You know, it's like free time.
he texted Ronnie. You didn't see the text because he didn't text.
No,
you.
yeah, you got to tell me, and I'm kind of feeling empty-handed here.
He just texted, "Don't do this to me, guys. I'm on the toilet." So
What do you
he's
think?
got his private time.
The lighting's probably perfect though.
The good lighting in the bathroom, right?
Good lighting in the bathroom.
John. Oh, John. I don't think anybody's going to spin up there.
I don't even think you could say the name of that city because that would probably get you copyright strike.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah. They'll be knocking on your door in 15 minutes.
So this, what might get Ken Herron to come finally visit who? I'm not sure who you were talking to, Kay.
Kay's a secret agent.
That's Philly. Billy Kyle says Philly. Would that be good?
Philly would be good. Philly's got a lot of great scenic spots. It's probably one of my favorite spots to fly. Like so many abandoned buildings, so much to see, and the food up north is awesome.
Hey, Artco says he'll jump in with us.
Bring him in.
Bring Art in. Well, let me send him a thingamajigger. We'll just make this little party, man. This is the most communication
An episode of Star Trek with all of us popping in with these windows here. So,
what's that, Ronnie?
it's just like an episode of Star Trek, you know. All the different...
Ronnie, you need to get yourself started on YouTube.
I know, but this is Mama's computer. You know,
You don't need a computer to do YouTube. You need a phone.
Oh no, I got the iPhone. I got the highest quality iPhone. Well,
then you have no excuse anymore.
You got enough to start a channel then.
Yeah, I did. That's actually how I started my music channel, was with my iPhone through iMovie and et cetera, et cetera. And
I personally think,
I
Ronnie,
went through a bad divorce, as Sean will know, and I kind of faded from it through all that. And the last good video footage is when we drove his son up from Houston, Texas to Colorado, and kind of lost track.
Hey,
hey, Art.
here. Hey, let me turn off. There we go. I got YouTube turned on. Hey, Ken. And
Hey, how's it going, man?
So Art, either you got a really
that
nice
dude.
house, or you're using green screen.
Well,
It's a gorgeous
hey,
house.
You too could be a millionaire on YouTube. Look at me living large. I could be living in Dillon. Maybe not.
All right, what the hell are you smoking, Art?
No,
You're
this
partaking in the Colorado legal weed there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No
A lot of
disagreement.
it. What's that?
Hey, later on, I'll fly my FPV. I'll see if I can get to fly right through that piano there.
All right. Yeah, Billy actually is saying he could hold it. You've been to where Billy lives, Ken. So he says you could hold the event at the university he attends. It would be relatively cheap. I personally think Kelly is open to the idea of it moving around a little bit. I'm talking to him about it becoming more than a drone event, and he's pretty open to the idea of making it more of a YouTube/drone event. Like, and I think that could be pretty beneficial for a lot of people that are trying to do YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
Like imagine, Ken, if you came up and you were doing either the main day a speech about not so much just drones, but YouTube and drones, or the next day you're doing a physical hands-on how to edit real estate video, like a class.
Oh, that'd be
You know, I mean, you'd be a great person to do that. Your real estate videos are killer, dude. And I don't even give a crap about real estate. I'm like, I find myself watching all your real estate videos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he would do a 2-day thing like that. I mean, I think it probably costs enough to try to hold a building for one day. It probably costs a lot to have a building.
Well, I mean, we want a lodge. I mean,
But I mean, I agree with the more YouTube side of it, because that's probably why a lot of people hear about Spin Up, go to Spin Up, and then when they go to Spin Up and there's not a lot of speakers that they know, they're not really interested. You got to keep your audience engaged. So I think that would be helpful, to try to he can bring more of the personalities, because that's a lot of reason why people go. They want to meet, the people that they watch, etc. So I think that's really important, but he's got to be willing to do that.
So I'm sorry.
Just for the people in the chat that have no clue what we're talking about, Spin Up is an event that Kelly Chores from Ready Set Drone puts together.
Right.
That started out. That's been two years so far. The first year was a sort of a YouTube drone meetup for all of us who see each other on each other's channels to have a place to come together, fly drones, listen to people talk about them, listen to YouTube, commenting, instructionals, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I'd say. Sums it up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. It was fun. This past year was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. It was good. I thought this year was fun.
That was
from
fun.
soup to nuts.
Well, Alaska. Where in Alaska?
Yeah, where are you in Alaska, Jake? Are you like by a city, or are you like
Jake's out in Anchorage, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All his videos, he's by a deserted little mining town.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe. That's a beautiful
Best
place
spot to fly, man. That's like the best spot to fly. Is like out there where it's all deserted and empty.
That's funny. Agent K says spin up, spin down, and then spin out. And spin out was just me, Ed Ricker, and Ken this year.
Yeah.
That was our own private little thing that we did, which was pretty cool.
That was fun. Yeah, that was cool. That was the most Texas experience I've had.
I'm glad you guys had a good time, because I know you guys were on the fence if you were able to make it to that or not. But
yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that I didn't, because last year I booked a flight. Like basically, we came in that Friday, I think just before. We were there for the day of, and then the next morning I was out. I was out the door.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were. A lot of people didn't even go to the after event. I don't think the first time we went to the after event at the lake. And I got to say, the lake flying art. I can't remember. Did you go to the after event the first year?
I didn't go the first year.
Okay, so the first year it was at a lake that was down the road from the event, from the ball field, and it was much better for hanging out and flying. Personally, myself, I was not a fan of the baseball field.
I wasn't a fan of the baseball field either.
It didn't make a lot of sense.
It was terrible.
What I'm thinking of, if we do it up here, the spin down one would be the events, right? And it wouldn't be at the main place that we had the speeches. The hotel I'm looking at has a small little conference center that we could do completely separate. And then outside across the way, it's just one street. And poof, there's a gazebo that we could set up to do events there, like hands-on stuff. And the gorgeous flying. I mean, you saw the picture of the lake. That's where it's at.
Dillon is beautiful. The hikes we did, it's a poster card town.
But I am also concerned about the altitude, because Art himself has actually told me that he has a hard time at higher altitudes.
Yep.
Could you even come up here for a day? Does the altitude bother you even for days, or only if you stay for a couple days?
Sometimes it depends on the time of year. I think in the summertime it's not so bad, but in the wintertime I just have a hard time, because I get I have sleep apnea and I have lung issues, so I probably could spend the night up there. It probably won't be a really good night sleeping, but I'll bring my CPAP machine with me and just drink lots of water and stay away from caffeine and alcohol.
Well, let me. I know about lung issues. Sean's been there with me. I had in 2009 walking pneumonia where I pretty much was given 3 days to live, and I had empyema in my left lobe where they had to go in there and cut me open and take out what's called the bubble wrap per se. Pretty much felt like an anaconda, and it's what's very, very spooky. Not trying to get off topic and go on to what's going on in the world right now. It's almost similar to what is happening with what the COVID-19 does to you, is the mucus, and then it builds a sac on the lungs. So I understand about breathing 100%. I was up there with Sean, but what I did, the main thing for anybody going in higher altitudes and being in the field or trying to learn how to breathe again with asthma or whatever the case may be. I have two sons that have asthma. That's cost me thousands of dollars in hospital bills and emergencies and ambulances. Is making your lungs strong, and just green tea with ginger, it really helps for the lungs. And not going trying to get off on a tangent, but I don't want anyone to be stopped by a fear of pneumonia or a fear of a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
Just anything to help, because I know what it feels not to breathe. Like, and I think Colorado actually, I've heard of people who have major asthma and allergic to everything from aerosol can spray moving to Colorado because
Ronnie, it's not Colorado, because you go to Denver and it's only at 5,000
elevation. I understand that, the thin air, right?
It's 10,000 feet, man. It is a difference. Even Ed Ricker, when he came here, felt Kelly was okay, but Ed felt a little hazy. And that happens to some people. The best thing to do if you're going to elevation like this is, and we'd probably have to do the same thing if we go to Alaska, is drink a crap ton of water before you go. Really hydrate yourself.
Right.
It makes a big difference. That would be something, even if we don't do spin up in Alaska, Ken, you, me, and Billy, maybe grab Ed and Kelly, just go out there, dude. How cool
there you go.
So where?
Alaska. Hit those glaciers up with Jake.
Yeah.
I can't do it anytime soon, but maybe in a year.
I've been looking at tickets and whatnot. I mean, I know there's a show happening in Vegas in September that's supposedly still happening. We'll see. I'm watching as it gets closer to see if it's actually going to take place. It's actually September, end of September. So I don't know, man. I'd like to get out there. I was supposed to go out there. My job sort of screwed me over. They were supposed to send me out there, and then they ended up sending my other colleagues. So, which actually it worked out because it was around the time that all of this started happening, and he had to pass through Seattle's airport. Turns out he ended up contracting COV on that trip. So, I mean, that could have been me. That could have been me.
Yeah. God, it's hard. This whole thing is hard because part of me wishes I just catch the damn thing already, get over it, and be okay. But they still haven't confirmed if you can re-catch it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you went to CES, man, you probably had it. I'm telling you. Because I was so sick after CES, like so sick.
Yeah. So Jake says I would probably waste him hiking on the mountains up there in Alaska because I'm used to higher altitudes. I actually did not realize that Alaska was lower altitude than where I'm at. That's surprising. What are your
highest mountain? The second highest mountain in the world, Mount McKinsey.
Yeah, it's 20,000 feet.
Yeah, I'm not hiking that high, man. The hikest I've gone up to is 13.4 or something like that. I haven't even hit the 14ers here in Colorado.
Oh, I put that there.
But I totally down Jake to come up there and make some videos. It just, we got to get everything back on track. I've had no income for 6 weeks, so I got to get. There's going to be a time period that it takes for me to get back onto trips and travel and stuff. Because I want to go to Florida, dude. I want to go.
Same here.
Dude, Florida, man, come on down.
I
make some roller coaster videos.
I tried to get rescheduled for Florida. I was supposed to go in March, and then I moved it to May. Now I want to change it to June. I'm going to be staying with Mitch, old guy in the drone, down there in Melbourne, and so I'm going to go and change my travel plans and go there, do some fishing and drone flying.
Yeah, you got to do some drone flying pretty much everywhere you go. I've actually been collecting asteroid. I didn't know what, when the asteroid feature came out on the drones, that was fun, right? It's sort of gimmicky, but it's fun. And then you stop using it. So I've tried to remember everywhere I go, if I have my drone with me, is to get an asteroid. And I'm doing this collection of asteroid.
Or is there a software thing on the drone? Forgive me.
What were you saying?
Is the asteroid, you mean like the rock, or is it a software feature?
No, it's a drone thing. So it's
I really don't know. You may have to fill everybody in who doesn't.
It's fine. And no, it's sort of cool having somebody that doesn't know this stuff, because we always take for granted that the people in the chat know what we're talking about.
Right.
And you want to explain what asteroid is? Oh, we lost him.
Oh, I guess he ran out of whatever he was.
Ran out on us. That's all right. That's all right. I think he was trying to say something, or his signal was going to crap. One of the two.
Okay.
Anyways, the asteroid, Ronnie, is a feature that is an autonomous feature that the drone takes on its own, and it zooms. It starts with you, and then it zooms out, and then it takes a whole lot of photos.
I've seen that where it spirals.
And it turns into what looks like a tiny planet. They call it asteroid.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
And Jake, I've been trying to do it more and more, but I'm slacking. I think I've got like 20 or 30 different asteroids that I'm stitching together. But it's not like it's a video that I can just put out and people will watch. So I'm working on trying to do a video that explains what asteroid is for the people that don't know what it is, and then I'll show the collection of them somehow. Right. Still working on the video.
Hey, Sean, we have a abandoned amusement park here in Golden. It's called Heritage Square.
Or is he in Colorado? Or where are you?
I'm in Colorado. I'm down here by Denver. I'm in the Denver metro area. And Golden is kind of at the foothills of the mountains. And that's where Coors is made. There's an old, a Heritage Square has been around for 60 years. They closed it a couple of years ago, and there's still.
Is that one that used to be where near the Harley dealer there in Golden?
Yeah, I think it's up the street there.
Okay, I've been there before. There was a ski lift with some bobsled runs.
There's a go-kart. Maybe it might be
go-karts, and there was a big 3 suspension maze that you could be hooked into and walk around and try not to fall.
Mm-hmm. I might go over there tomorrow and get some drone footage, because I saw another YouTuber. His channel's name is K2 Kid. K the number 2 KIDD. And he was up there, and he had some pretty cool footage up there. He did some drone footage in downtown Denver during all this coronavirus stuff there. He was down at the Capitol, and he got some really cool shots. And then he was over at the Wells Fargo building. That's that tall building that looks like a cash register. And he got some really cool footage of that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that park was still there. I thought they tore it all out, so I might have to.
I did too. And that video of his is only a few months old, so I'll have to check it out. And there's a pond there, and I want to see if there might be some carp in there to do some fishing there, but it might be fenced off. Most likely.
Yeah. I can't even remember how to get there. I'm down to meet up, and Jake has said something about meeting up too. So, Jake, if you ever want to come up to Colorado, definitely more than welcome to, man. I know we got to get through all this stuff. There is a small chance I might be able to come out okay, and instead of being a renter, buy a house after all this, because a lot of the property value seems to be dropping up here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where I live, buying a house is ridiculous, dude.
I'll be right back. I have
You do you, man.
All right, take care.
Hang on,
but, buying a house up here, I've been looking for almost 3 years now, and the property up here in Summit County is just stupid. It's so expensive.
Oh yeah, because it's everybody wants to move to the mountains. It's people from out of state, like Texas, California.
Yeah. There's so many people coming from all over the place here.
Yeah.
Tourist-wise, we were the first city in Colorado to actually get, or county in Colorado to actually get the virus.
Ooh,
a guy in Italy, yeah.
Ooh. So yeah, I've done some shows up in the mountains back in my stand-up comedy days. I've done some shows up in the Winter Park and Vail.
Vail. You did say you were doing some comedy stuff. So how is that going for you?
Well, I haven't done any stand up in 10 years. so I'm pretty much retired from that biz. But yeah, that was back in the early to mid '90s when I did that.
Let me answer a couple of the comments in the chat
Okay.
here. Sunrise Water said the toilet frog got to Ken, which is awesome. Ken's gonna kill me for this, but I gotta find a video. You guys chat for just a second. I gotta show. If you saw the frog video, I have to show you this. Let me find it real quick. Spin out, I think is what we called it. Oh yeah, here we go. Give me just a second to get it loaded to the right spot. Ken is gonna kill me. This video is so awesome.
Oh yeah, I saw that video where the frog came out of his.
Yeah, he had a frog come out of his toilet, man.
Okay.
We still found it when it happened, but
I bet it came out somewhere else.
all right, guys, give me a second to pull this up
Yeah,
and share
well,
this.
luckily it wasn't a monkey.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check this out. Hopefully you can hear this.
Is that a freaking bat? There's a bat. Jesus, there's a bat. Look at this guy.
I am done.
Yeah, get him.
There he is. Are you just acting with a gag?
No. Oh.
It's coming at you.
I love this so much.
Calm down.
Oh, I love Ken. Ken is my favorite. He's gonna kill me for sharing this. That's the frog video reminded me of that.
Yeah.
He's such a good sport, man.
Mhm.
Such a good sense of humor. Oh, Agent K, he knew it was coming. Now, I guess we got three thumbs down. I don't know. Ronnie was asking how many people are in the chat now. It's dropped a little bit as things get later into the evening like this, Ronnie. We start dropping numbers, but we're down to we only got like 13 or so people. I think we had 20 or 30 earlier.
Well, what do we got to let's bring it up. Let's bring it up.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So let's think. Should
Well,
we?
We got a question for you, Ronnie. Tim
Okay.
Jack ask you a question. He wants to know when ZZ Top is getting back together.
Oh, they never left.
They never broke up?
They never broke up. They still in Rosenberg. You know, the thing is, they just get together. They don't rehearse like a normal band. When they got to do a show, they do a show. So
Yep.
that's the truth. I had an ex-relative whose uncle played in the Who, and their studio was next to ZZ Top's in Houston, and so
Wow.
they're always together. So it's really cool. But good question. You know, Sean, when are we getting back together? When is the ZZ Top crew? We should do a show at one of the at the events. You know.
No, that would not be the right crowd for our old music.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they like our music.
Well, if they
Played that
doesn't
clip
matter.
earlier. Nobody said a single thing about it.
we'll call in Spike. You know, look, they're just not used to it. They got to warm up to it.
No, there's other places that would be better for us to play if we did a reunion show.
Hey, I could be your MC.
There you go. Tim Jackson says it's only 3 p.m. there. I think Tim's in Australia. I would like to go to Australia and visit Ice Bike and stuff, but man, there are a lot of big spiders and bugs in Australia.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm down for that.
I like how they.
It's really hot in Australia, but I don't know for sure. But every video I see, every picture I see, always looks so hot.
And the most poisonous snake in the world, you think it would have like a complex name? It's the brown snake.
Yeah, it's in Australia too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple, very simple. The brown snake's the most poisonous snake in the
Well,
world.
look at that. We got El Stacker in the room. You know what? Just because El Stacker is in the room, we're going to play a little snowboarding clip. I'm going to see what I can find. We'll play a snowboarding clip with a drone clip combined, so everybody can enjoy it together. Let's see what I can find. I'm working on some stuff here. Drone clips. Where in the hell?
Drone clips.
I got these Skydio videos.
You know what I was thinking, Sean?
What's that, Ronnie?
What about the old skateboarding days when you were doing the half pipes, building the half pipes and everything? We need to get footage of the drones with a lot of skateboarders and these BMX guys. I've been watching on my Instagram. I used to BMX bike race. I used to be 20th nation for real, and now the tracks have gotten so much more downhill. The gates that people start on in BMX are faster. bikes are more profiled, and these guys are going 30, 45 miles an hour, and they have these drones that follow them instead of the camera being on it.
That's
And
what I'm about to show you.
It's just amazing. It's amazing footage, you know. I think there should be more. There should be more snowboarding. There should be more surfing, BMX.
So
Okay, these are short clips. I thought I had a bunch of shortened clips that I could show everybody, but these are longer clips, so I'll have to fast forward them and stuff. So here's a clip I can show everybody. Let me pull this one up. This is the Skydio drone, and this is using the beacon and phone combined. Great, it's not working. Let me try that again. These clips might be too big. There we go. All right, so oh wait, you can't see it till I share it. Still learning.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that is probably that file.
Yeah, it could be.
There we go. Okay, so you guys can see that now?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get this L stacker. This is Loveland Pass, which is
Yep.
There.
yeah, you have been there. And so right now the Skydio is just sort of figuring out what it's doing.
You on
Not moving, so it can't really tell which way to do it. That's a buddy of mine, Jonathan Buckhouse, in the red jacket. He has a YouTube channel also. He was actually in the chat earlier today.
and that's you on the right.
That's me in the all black. He's holding the GoPro Max. It's in 360 mode. You can see a bunch of people up there hiking to go higher up. We're just going to drop in right here.
Yeah.
And the drone is set. What I've been experimenting with is trying to get the drone at lower angles, because when you're at a higher angle, all you see, and I'll show you in a different video, what happens when you're straight above somebody. You don't get the same perspective. You don't get to see the surroundings. You just see the snow. So right now I'm starting with it behind me, and it's just following me.
The drone.
Yep, the drone is following me right there. That's it.
Cool.
Now I'm not a big fan of just being behind like this, but you notice the height elevation isn't super high above me. You can still see what's off in the distance.
Could you back it off, or is it really hard to judge?
Well, in this video, I was still learning the controls of using the beacon and how it works. So I was having some issues here and there. Let me fast forward it past this. We start moving again right there. And so I think I put it to the side of me now. So it should, yeah, it's going to follow me to the side and go right through the tree.
Good.
Oh, cool.
And then I tried to put it to go more in front of me. At this point, I didn't realize you could actually point at the drone and then move the drone around. I didn't have any clue that was possible.
Oh, that was good when you stopped and it kept dragging. I don't have terminology, so I'm using my own.
So there we go again. We stopped. And I stopped every now and then trying to get through the rocks without damaging our snowboards. So something like this, I would never actually show this whole clip. I would take the parts that actually were good and then chop it up with music or whatever. But, you know, I didn't realize at this point I could turn off the height floor ceiling and get it to get lower. You see how it's getting higher and higher, and I ate shit. So let me fast forward to this view here. Okay, this is interesting.
That was
the phone and the beacon connected, and we go into this natural half pipe area here, and completely not keep up. Like it loses me right after this turn. It just you think it would be able to keep up with me, but look, I'm not over there. You know, so it flew off on its own and never found me again. And I had to actually manually take back over control of it and bring it back to me, and then try to get it to sync back onto me. And watch what it does. Instead of syncing onto me, I go off and it synced onto Jonathan. So even though it's supposed to be following the beacon and the phone.
And now, does it naturally follow Jonathan?
What's that?
Does it naturally follow Jonathan for any
No,
reason?
it's supposed to follow the beacon, which is a little device I have in my pocket, but it's following him instead.
All right.
Which is weird. I don't know why it did it. It's got great shots of him, though.
Does he have a beacon himself? He's not telling
No,
you?
I'm holding the beacon. So then we figure out, oh, it's messing up, and then we reset and try again. And here is what I like. I like the fact, oh, I think I got it. So it's behind me in this shot. This is somewhere else. I'm going to go back and test it again now that I know how to use it a little better. Because not really understanding how it works, this is not the best display of how how it actually works. It works better. But this in front of me, okay, so this is a thing DJI drones don't do. See how it's in front of me? It's flying backwards. I cannot get a DJI drone to stay in front of me for the life of me. It almost always turns around and goes behind me.
Any model?
Any model I have. So, I mean, that was one example. And I have definitely more examples of how the Skydio works. Let me see what I can find. And I'll throw it in a new window.
You know, I think the thing that I have that a lot of people don't understand, maybe you explain, is I'm an actual surveyor. I deal with topographic surveys and aerial surveys, so I understand how the airplanes fly and now the drones fly, but also doing my own videos. But I have a concept when they start speaking, when Sean starts speaking, I don't know the terminology like you guys do, but I can see, you know, the editing per se.
Well, these aren't edited yet. These are just
No, I'm just saying I can see where okay, why can't the drone do this? Why can't the drone do this? Why is the drone doing this instead of this? You know what I'm saying?
well, because the technology isn't quite there yet. It's getting close. I mean, look, let me answer this question before I show this video.
Go ahead.
Guys, water ass, you can't take your drone to the resort. True. There's too many people you can't fly at resorts. They'll kick you out real quick if they see you flying a drone at a
Why is
resort. They pull your pass.
Why is that?
Safety
Well,
issue.
you can't fly drones over large crowds of people.
Insurance policy because it can crash and hurt somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm flying the drone through a resort as low as what I'm flying this, and there's hundreds of people around me,
Yep.
there's a good chance somebody's going to get hit by that drone.
Mhm.
It's just not smart. It's that people do it, and they take that chance sometimes, and you'll see videos of people flying drones at resorts. If you do a little searching on YouTube, I'm just not going to be one of them because it's just one, bad karma, and two, it's actually against the drone rules. So that place that I was flying that you saw was backcountry stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just in the middle of nowhere. There are no rules like that. There aren't crowds of people as you saw. It was just me and my buddy.
Yep.
So it's totally okay and totally legal.
Mhm.
Same with this. This is actually in my neighborhood. This is a hill in the back of my neighborhood.
Is that Gina?
That's me. That's the drone. I look like Gina, huh?
No,
Thanks.
I just got new contacts. I apologize.
So the drone is. This is the first time I'm trying out the tracking feature, and I'm trusting that it's not going to hit a tree. It's just going behind me, following me.
You're pausing.
Job. I'm not going very fast on this one, but the fact that it could just decide to go around the trees, and the DJI drones from behind do a decent job doing this. And I actually want to go out and make a video showcasing the two and how the DJI can do some of the stuff from behind like this. It's when it gets in front of you, which I think I thought I turned it to go in front. No, I did not at this point do that yet. Here you can see I go down here and it follows its way around that tree. It's a little behind me and it catches up real fast.
Yeah, it does this slow pause stop thing.
So here I went through this tree here, right there, and boom, it can't find its way through this.
Yeah. Now have they fixed that feature?
No, I mean it's just not smart enough. I mean, look how small of a space that is.
Well, they need a higher connection?
No, it's just the drone can't fit through there.
No,
Yeah.
in a drone, do they need a higher connection between the drone and what's in your pocket? What'd you call it?
The beacon. No, because it's still trying to find me. You see it's following me. It's looking
Okay,
right
so yeah, it is searching for you. It's stressing itself out.
It's trying to find a way to get around that. It just can't. There's not enough room there. So I do manually take it over somewhere in here, and I manually move it over to this little space here,
And it gets happy again.
and it can fit through that. So I fly it through this space. I back it up, come over to this side, and just sort of fly it through there.
Well, it needs a higher signal. It needs more.
No, it's not. It never lost me. It just couldn't fit through the spot.
But, I mean, obviously, it never lost you. But if it had a higher signal, it could have a quicker response time.
I don't know if higher signal. I see what I think you're saying. I don't think higher signal is
I'm
the right.
talking because of survey instruments. I work with robotic survey instruments. I can go like this, and the machine. I move my pole like this, and the machine goes. Boom.
Yeah, it might need a faster processor and it's more technology. And over time, Skydio 3 is probably going to pull that kind of stuff off. But you know, this is pretty amazing right here. Again,
asking questions from a surveyor's point of view versus a novice, somebody that is everybody. I'm ignorant. I don't know nothing about drones.
That's fine. What this drone does, no drone before it can do in this way.
Right.
Other drones with tracking and they can avoid things. It's just not quite like this.
Yeah.
Now tracking, speaking of, I'm going back to surveying, the robotic survey instruments, Trimble is the brand that we use. They have extreme badass tracking, excuse my French, where if you move, it moves with you, just like your eye, rapid eye, REM. If it goes like this, it's going to follow you and it's going to stress itself out to keep itself on you.
Right.
I wonder if they could apply that same, if we could find out what Trimble is using in their robotic instruments and have it applicated into these drones, if not already.
I mean, they're already on the market. Like this is just the beacon right here.
Yeah.
This is before I knew you could point the beacon at something also, but it does a pretty good job on this one. Although you notice how high it is. This is the shot that you see most tracking done with any drone. It's high above you and it's just sort of straight down. So you see now I'm not getting any of the background. I'm not seeing the mountains off in the distance. It's just too high. To get those really good shots, you have to have the drone down closer to head level or even lower. And you can do that with Skydio.
There's an elevation, or can you put an elevation from you, say, from the beacon 20 feet up?
I can do whatever I want. At this point, I was still learning the product. The beacon and this product and the way it works is not necessarily intuitive when you first get it. Once you figure it out, it does become a lot more intuitive. Like now that I go out and do it, and I want to redo these shots.
So you can say from the bottom of your snowboard to your pocket's 4 feet, and then from 4 feet you can tell it's 20 feet above.
Let me see if I can find another clip and I can actually show you how it works. Give me just a second. You guys talk away amongst yourself there, and I'll find a clip that actually shows how it works. It won't be a clip from the drone itself.
Set an elevation with this. I think that would be amazing. Set a vertical elevation and a horizontal XY.
It has all that.
But really, you know, you can stimulate it with like you want this one at this, and then this one to travel this as a constant.
Let me show you here. Let me pull this video in real quick, and I'll show you how it works now that I know how to actually work it. All right. So I'm going to fast forward this here a little bit. This is on a skateboard. I'm using the 360 camera to film it, but the drone is in front of me. And let me find the spot I'm looking for. Okay, so if you notice this, Ronnie, you see I'm holding that little device in my hand, and I point it at the drone, and I can move the drone just by pointing my hand somewhere else.
Okay, so like, forgive me, where is the drone? It's in front of you, correct?
It's behind me right here. The drone is not filming me right now.
Okay, you're a handheld camera thing.
I'm holding the camera in my other hand. You see the drone in the air behind me to the left?
Yeah, right there in the left hand. Top
now,
left.
Around to the right because I just moved my hand with that. Did you see it go around me?
Yeah.
Now it's in front of me, and it's going exactly where I point the beacon to go. So let me see if I can find another clip that shows that. Here we go. So notice I'm pointing at the drone, and I'm trying to get it to move by moving my arm around. I'm pushing a button. I'm making it go lower to the ground.
So there's still a lot of work involved.
What's that?
Technology-wise, there's still a lot of forced movement. Is there interference is what I'm asking.
Not when it's close to you like that, no.
And what distance do you find it best working at? 100 yards?
Yeah. So for this particular drone, this is, like I said, for people watching in the chat, let me close this up. For people watching in the chat, this is the Skydio 2 drone. Some of us have it, some of us don't.
Yeah.
It works 3 different ways. It can either hook up to a controller, like a standard remote control, sort of like we use on all our other drones. It can hook up to your phone, or it can hook up to the beacon, which is that little piece of plastic you saw me in that last video. Mm-hmm. So with that video you were seeing just there, the beacon flies it one way. The controller, you fly it totally different, and the phone flies it totally different.
So my question is, obviously, does the controller have a stronger signal than the beacon?
Yeah, you get a stronger signal with the controller. You can fly further away from me with the controller. The controller, you actually hook your phone up to the controller, and you use your phone to view what the drone flies or sees, and you fly it like a normal drone.
And what has the best resolution for, let's just say, old school trick photography? You know,
So now you're talking about something completely different. The resolution is in the visual camera,
Yeah.
not anything to do with the sensors.
100% right. So the sensors that direct the camera with the drone and the flight
It has six. I don't have the drone with me, or I'd show you. But it has
I'm learning.
6 sensors on this particular drone for tracking. It's 3 on top, 3 on bottom, which gives it a 360-degree all over the place. It can read and it's mapping out. It's incredible technology the way it maps out. You should do a little YouTube searching on the Skydio too and find the actual company's website or their actual YouTube, because they show on their web. I might be able to find it for everybody. I think there's a video where they show a wireframe of how the drone sees, and
in a grid format.
Huh?
Kind of like in a grid format.
Yeah, like Tron. Think of Tron. It sees everything like Tron.
Yeah.
And it grids it all out, and it can tell what it's supposed to be tracking using those sensors as well as the visual camera. It combines the two to be able to track.
So I gather you don't have a drone?
Me?
Not.
Yeah.
Ronnie is.
But go ahead.
Did I introduce you two yet?
No, you haven't.
My apologies. Art, Ronnie, Art.
Ronnie?
It's Misha Art.
Hey, Ronnie, I am giving away this drone once I hit 1,500 subscribers. And this would be a really good beginner drone for you.
Okay, awesome.
And
That drone costs $99, Ronnie. That is the Tello, if I'm not mistaken. I can't see.
It's the Tele drone. And I have a video on my channel. There you go. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel. Go to that video, and in the comment section, just say, I'm Mellow for that Tello. And when I hit 1,500 subscribers, I will do a drawing using the YouTube randomizer where I take all the people that commented and it just randomizes it and it picks a winner. And I will ship this to you or whoever wins.
So the reason I'm asking all these crazy questions about the physical aspects of the instruments is that the only thing I do now as a survey technician is, for instance, we have these things called laser scanners, like laser beams. But scanners, and they take like 50,000 shots per second of a building per se. My job is to take the data from them and extract it and make it come to real life imaging, in a 3D format. So I don't see it happening, but I can take the concept because some of the aerial surveys that we get done in my world are done with drones. Old school has always been airplanes.
Yep.
And now they have drones that do topographic surveying with elevations, X, Y, and Z, datum. And so the reason I'm asking these questions to you and Sean is like, how quick is it the response? Or do you have to overlap several times?
No, let me show you another video clip of it.
Oh, yes, I'm excited. I'm subscribe to your channel, by the way.
What's that?
I will subscribe to your channel, Art.
Awesome. Thank you.
So in this video here, let me see if you guys, can you guys see that right now, what I'm doing?
Yep, I see that.
I'm holding the beacon. This is the beacon only. And notice how the drone is moving around.
That was loud.
What was that?
A drop in the
Yeah,
Gotcha. Do you see how instantly that moves with my hand, Ronnie?
Sorry?
You were asking how quick is it? See how I move my hand and it instantly sort of follows it?
Yes, that's quick. That's quick response.
So that's how you fly it when you want it to track you. If you're flying it manually, which I can show you some footage of manually flying it with the controller in a second.
But that's with the controller with your hand, not remote, correct?
Yeah, this is what they call the beacon. It's just a little device in my hand. That's it.
But the remote is way quicker, but it's less
Well, I'm not going to use the remote to track me because
Right. It's less agile. It's not trick photography. It doesn't look as cosmetically.
Well, when I fly with the remote, I'm flying to get nature shots and other things. I'm not really flying to follow myself.
Mm.
So this was a video I made to sort of show how I use the beacon. And this video is up on my channel if anyone's not subscribed to me and you're curious about this drone. This video really, really does show you how to use the beacon and how the whole thing works with me talking and all that. But as you can see, like I'm just using an electric skateboard and I'm
that's what I
comparing
was
the
gonna
difference
ask you,
between
Sean.
the drone and the GoPro. That's why you don't see me pushing the skateboard because it's electric.
For instance, when they fly our surveys, guys, Sean and Art, it's like $50,000-$60,000.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't, and they use these.
Yeah, our drones don't cost that much.
So I don't know what they use, but obviously they're mega drones and mega airplanes. You know what I'm saying? So mega software.
Yeah.
So let me answer a couple.
And to process one of our aerial surveys is not only it's like $80,000, you know, or you know, it's a lot of money.
So Tim asked if the Mavic Air 2 is supposed to have a follow me too, and it is. It's going to have active track. It's supposed to have APAS 2. APAS is what the Mavic series uses to help go around trees and stuff if you put it into that mode. I'm actually going to work on a video real soon showcasing the APAS stuff versus the APAS on the Mavic Air, the APAS on the Mavic Zoom, and the APAS, well, not the APAS, but just the Skydio 2, and see which one actually can go around trees better. That's something I am working on. I already know the answer to it. It's going to be the Skydio is going to work better for that. The problem is when you're doing a shot like this, you notice how when I move the Skydio around to other places, it's sort of erratic. It's quick. It goes to that place as soon as I say, hey, go here. That's what it does. It moves and goes over there. And it doesn't make that motion isn't really a motion that you want to use in a video. It's too choppy. It's too quick. Where the DJI drone, well, one, it can't really follow in front of you like that.
Right.
Like some of the shots you see with the drones right in front of me. It just can't. It almost every time I've done it, well, actually every time I've done it, it always goes in front of me for a second and then tends to start going to the side. And next thing you know, it's behind me. I can't ever get it to lock in. I'm going to keep experimenting with it. And if I can get it to lock in, I'll make a video explaining how everybody I did it so that they can do it too. You know, because personally, when you're tracking, I want to see the person's face at least in a shot here and there.
There you go.
Just being above like this isn't the greatest shot. You know, you know, I'm coming down and I'm bringing it down so that I can get a better shot.
There you go.
And now look how much lower that is and how much better that is, because now you can see the mountains behind me and stuff versus what we were looking at just a second ago where it's just this and you're looking down. And there's nothing wrong with a shot like this. That's a cool shot too. However, you don't want a video of just that. You know, look at this guy. So right there, did you see that biker? He's coming up. I didn't even know he was behind me. And as soon as I notice him, I stop moving because I don't want the drone to screw up and try to track me and move and then run into the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think for my sake, as a viewer who is very, very beginner, not even novice per se, the viewers that are listening in on this with the simpleton questions I'm asking, the only thing I have is a survey background and in what I've seen you do, Sean, and what you've told me. They are very important questions. They're not dumb questions at all. I think, you know, your viewers should be able to ask all these questions, you know, and I'll be the guy to ask them.
Well, you know, that's something I do take for granted. I think a lot of us that talk about drone stuff take that for granted, that we assume everyone watching the video knows the terminology, knows what we're talking about.
And then some people don't want to look like fools, but
a lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of people are new into the hobby and they don't understand everything. So I'm trying, like, this is great for me because it helps me. Normally, if I had just had Ken and Art on here, we would have just completely assumed everyone watching knew what we were talking about. And it's cool to hear you go, wait, what is that? What does that mean? And it reminds me that there's a large group of people out there that we could reach and help them understand the hobby more.
and I think it's good, especially this. Not, I don't call this a hobby. I call this a lifestyle, a sport, whatever. I think none of the questions I'm asking are dumb or ignorant. I think they're very professional questions.
Yeah, don't feel dumb at all asking these questions, because look right here in the comments. John says, with FPV drones, it's even worse. There's so much jargon to learn before you really understand what everyone's
I
talking
don't even know what that word means. I don't know what
And
the word. There needs to be a drone definition.
Right. Tim says, I had to watch a lot of videos to learn the lingo. So everyone starts somewhere. And you asking questions with us, I mean, we're all, like I said a million times, it's a great community. Everybody tends to support each other. All you got to do is start jumping on some of these people. Join Art's channel. If you get a chance, get onto Ken's channel, which was here earlier, the original Dobo. He does tons of great videos about the products themselves. Great stuff. We learn a lot with that.
Here's the crazy thing is, y'all are teaching me, and all I do is take the data that the guys who fly these things in my professional world, per se, survey world, I take the data and I make it become alive to the client.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know nothing about how y'all fly them or how you collect the data. I just know the XYZ value.
Well, you just got to start somewhere. You just got to get one. And that $99 Tello, if you just want something for in your house to just sort of learn how to fly it off of your phone, that's a great start. It's not something you're going to make videos like you're seeing here with whatsoever, but that Mavic Mini for $399 totally is.
Well, I think these are very good educational videos. You know, you backtracking to like how you, and I'm glad that you kept archives of everything you've done, like stopping like that. You know, that accident. Let's call it an accident or a faux pas per se.
Welcome to Art Code Drone.
Okay, I'm actually going to post in the Can you see the comment section?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't see nothing yet.
Okay, well here, Gina says hi. Can you see that?
Say hello.
Can you see Gina says hello?
Miss Oz?
That's Gina. Yep.
Hello.
And there, if you can see the chat and the comment that everyone's talking about in the thing, I just posted a link to Art's.
I'm on the laptop and I don't.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Or you
So
can
chat, you have to pull up my YouTube channel and actually be going through my YouTube channel on this video. You make sure you mute it, because if you don't mute it, it's going to make a sound loop. That's going to sound horrible for everybody.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom right, there's a live chat feature.
Yeah.
And that is where you can see everybody's chats. And like I said, I just posted a link to
of what we're doing.
channel.
This whole conversation.
What's that?
Of this whole conversation.
No, I just posted a link to Art's giveaway. But yeah, all the conversation of the people watching the channel, you can go through it, all the people that have been talking to it this entire time.
Where do I go?
Go to youtube.com on a new page.
Here's the thing. Y'all can laugh at me. This is my girlfriend's computer, and it's a Safari, and I'm used to an iPhone, but I don't know nothing about MacBook Pro.
Okay, so you're okay. This would be. I can walk you through this later if you want, or I can try to quickly do it.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'm fine right now watching.
Okay.
All right, Gina, you have fun too going to bed. I'll be out. We'll wrap this up by midnight. Like I said, I promise. I'll come home. I promise.
What time is it there, Sean? It's
11:23. So I got a half an hour. We can shoot the shit, and then we gotta call it a night.
Yeah.
Let me ask those who have been jumping in every night at this 9 o'clock thing that I'm doing. Do you like it better now that I've sort of got rid of following the thing and I actually just made a post saying, hey, I'll be here at 9? Or do you prefer it when I let it run all day? Because I feel like we got more people in it when it was actually posted as an event at 9 than just having it play 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I think it was a cool idea to try to have a countdown going, but coming into it to talk, nobody was showing up at the time because nobody reads the description. Ooh, watch this. I almost hit the telephone wires. Ooh, did you see that?
Yep.
That would be scary.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to Ken Herron. Remember when he crashed his Skydio?
I do remember that. He hit a thin wire. That looked
Yeah,
like a pretty
well,
thin wire.
he was on his motorcycle, and he had the Skydio following on his motorcycle.
Check this out right here, Art. Where I come up to this stop sign, and I stop, and I notice there's a car coming, and I have it pretty low, so I quickly try to turn around and point the beacon at it to raise it up, and it decides to go way over in front of me and almost hits the wire. And that's a thin wire, so I was like, "Oh, that one's so thin." It's gonna hit.
That isn't that.
And then it comes over here and almost hits that wire.
Oh,
I'm like trying to get it to just get low
Oh.
the wire.
Yeah, that is a neutral wire. That is a telecommunications wire. You would have been all right. But
So JM Jeff says that the Mavic Air 2 active track is a game changer. Watch out. Now, I don't know if he has one or if he's just hoping. But active track is going to be better than 3.0 is going to obviously be better than 2.0. And APAS 2.0 should be better than APAS 1. Now, will it be better than the Skydio's tracking? I have a really hard time to believe that because none of the DJI drones can track in front of you yet. Or at least I've not been able to get them to do that. They always, like I said earlier, go behind you eventually. Will it be better? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a hell of a lot better than the old ones. You saw the sample today. Someone posted it. I'd like to see that. Send me a link. I'll post it right now. Love to see that, JM or Jeff, whichever you prefer to go by. However, it's hard to believe that it could do as much as something like the Skydio because it's only got, the sensors on the front and a camera. It doesn't even have side sensors. So I bet you anything I could take it into some of the trees and situations I've been bringing this thing. I bet you I could crash it. I bet you anything I could crash it. Let's see what else I got. That we're sharing Skydio footage. What else can we share? That would be pretty cool. This is pretty gorgeous. You guys might like this view if nothing else. I decided to try to track the car in it, and so we get started. I get out. It didn't link to my car. It's trying to link to that car. My car is not that car. So then I have to correct it and get it to link to my car. We get that going, and then we take off. Look at those views.
Well, that's Buffalo Mountain.
That is Buffalo Mountain. So see that amphitheater right there, right to the left of that?
Yep.
See the gazebo to the very far left?
Yep.
That is where I want us to have our day to spin up. Hanging out right there, flying over that lake with those views you're looking at right there. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
I think people would enjoy that. I'm going to do a search while this is playing. You guys talk. I'm going to do a little search and see if I can find what Jeff was talking about the Mavic Air tracking.
So where are you at again, Art?
I'm here in the Denver metro area.
So you're in actual downtown Denver?
Well, not downtown Denver. I'm out northwest of Denver. Downtown, yeah. I'm out.
Hey, and welcome to.
So where are you, Ron?
Well, I'm originally from Houston, Texas, like Sean, and right now I'm in let's just say Richmond, Virginia.
Oh,
Well, technically I'm east by southeast. Forgive me being surveyor. East by southeast in the woods, just east of Richmond, Virginia. I like the woods versus the city right now.
right.
I can get done, and I got acreage, and I got chickens, and building a garden, and now I'm a surfer, and I'm an artist, and I like warehouses and galleries and stuff. But right now, at this current time in my life, I prefer solitude,
Right.
and but it's very, very, very peaceful here, and it's about the same length from where I am to the ocean, the Atlantic, which I've never seen. It is the Gulf of Mexico from Houston to Galveston.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, let me interrupt your conversation real quick. I found the video that Jeff was talking about, so let me make it full screen.
This is the grid.
The active track, supposedly the active track on the new Mavic Air, which looks great, but it is behind the person.
But the crosshairs are off.
Dude, they're always going to move around a little bit. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's doing a great job. I can't say that this is any better so far than the 2 Zoom because it can do this also with APAS. It does look nice and it's doing a good job. And I like that it's actually not too high. that is going through all this stuff, and it's not too high, and it is staying with the guy. It does the same sort of wobbly jobbly that the Skydio does. Looks like when it's going under a tree. I would like to see them try to do it.
That guy.
You. I have no idea who that guy is. I've not.
Who's the guy?
But yeah, this is. I think this is the clip that Jeff is talking about.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it here second.
Who is the foods guy?
I have no idea who that guy
You
is.
know what he looks like? So anyway, at the Geneva Convention, that's what he looks like. The next comment is.
Yeah. Let me find that footage with the controller, Ronnie, because you were talking about what's the difference of flying it with a controller, right?
I feel like that's important to me as a surveyor per se, and I'm very curious.
All right, let me pull this up. You will see. So this is me using my phone as a visual and flying with a standard controller, okay? And this is the first time I ever even tested the controller out. So let me just skip ahead. I'm first flying forward, just seeing if it hit a tree. Of course, it avoids it. Trying to hit trees here. Of course, it goes around it. But what really amazed me wasn't this forward flying stuff. I mean, it's still pretty cool because I can't see it. This is not, it's in line of sight, but trees are blocking my vision. It's like literally just out of my reach, but I couldn't see it because of the trees being so thick.
Mm-hmm.
And it had no problem going through. So then once we get it back here, I decided you can track yourself with the controller, and that's what I tried to do here. This is the first day I took this thing out, the very first time I ever tried messing around with the Skydio. And so we set it up, and now you can track it. But see how, Ronnie, I'm holding this big clunky controller?
Yes.
You can't do that when you're snowboarding, and you can't do that when you're skateboarding. I'm trying to see if it loses me behind the tree. Walking like this, you can do it. So you could be flying it manually and say, hey, I need to get a little shot of me walking.
Now, can I pause you for a second? Can I interrupt you for a second?
Uh-huh.
Do they make a better beacon that does more coordination?
No, this beacon is the top of the line technology right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, are our followers listening in on this? Are we lost followers? Are we solid? Or?
There's 15 people watching us right now that I can see.
And so this is the top dog of beacons?
It's the only drone that I know of currently that's using a beacon.
Yep.
Long time ago, there was a unique drone that used a beacon.
Okay, so now I'm going to reverse the question. Just to humor me as a surveyor, survey technician, not when I say that, not boasting, just technical terms. Is the remote old school control still a higher standard than the beacon?
Well, this is a Wi-Fi connection drone, unlike DJI, which is uses OcuSync now. Mm-hmm. So you're using a controller. If you want to fly further out and have a stronger signal for your video feed, that's what OcuSync does. It gives you a
what would it take to take the controller and transmit that into the beacon? What is the difference? I mean, I understand Wi-Fi, but why can't we make a controller that is just as strong as the Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi is not strong. You're not hearing me out. So DJI does OcuSync, which is a different connection.
I did not hear that. I apologize.
You got to hear me out. So OcuSync is a connection that works to our phone. It takes the video signal from the drone, what the drone camera sees, puts it into our phone. All right? And that's what we're using to see what the drone sees.
Okay, that's beautiful footage right there, whatever you're doing.
So what the drone sees is what we want to see on our phone, and we want to see it as quickly as possible with no lag, right? We want it to have no latency. We want it as...
Is there latency right there? Is that just filming before editing?
No. With Wi-Fi, if you're close, you won't get that much latency either. And even with the Skydio, if you have a tiny bit of latency, it's not a big deal because of the sensors. The sensors will help you from hitting anything. It definitely flies differently than the DJI. Like if I was flying the DJI through these trees, and this is just me testing it out. So that's why I'm yawing back and forth. You're never going to see me put shots like that in a video on my YouTube. I'm never going to show you.
Correct. Edit.
I think I even try to hit myself here, and the thing doesn't hit me. We'll see.
Forgive me for backing up in history. What generation are we on right here?
This is a different. So depends on the company you're talking about. This is Skydio, and Skydio.
And
has
what
made-
year? Let's just archive it. What year are we at?
This is the year 2020.
Well, I actually,
You know what I'm saying? Like, the
Last-
footage of the
I'm gonna
movement.
let Art answer your question while I
Versus
go over the
software.
bathroom quick. Art, do you think you could help clear it up a little bit for him?
yes, the
I'll be right back.
Skydio is like the almost the latest and greatest in drones, but it was 2019 is when it came out.
Go ahead.
Where the Mavic Air came out a couple of years ago, so this is newer technology, and now we've got the Mavic Air 2 that's going to be possibly coming out in the next week or so. So that's going to be the newest thing, but that's for DJIs.
Well, I want to make a comment when
Okay,
Sean
go
comes. When
Okay.
Sean comes out, I want to make a comment that way. He's here to hear it, and I don't know right from wrong when I say this. I just know what I know. I actually let me rephrase that. I just know what I see.
Yeah, right.
And I will use, like I said, it's actually good that I don't know as much as you guys know, and I'm just a surveyor that just collects the data. No, forgive me. The guys collect the data, and then I analyze the data. You
There you
understand?
go.
So, but what I'm seeing visually right now as an artist. Hey, Sean, you're back. I have a question for you.
Okay. What's the question?
The question is, okay, let me back up in history of GPS. When GPS first
Hold on, Ronnie. Hold your question for a minute. I want to show everybody that's in the chat this shot right here. Okay, this is going forward, but this is something I would never have done with any DJI drone ever, flying with a controller. I can't actually see the drone. It is very close to me, but I can't see it with my own eyes. I can hear it going around these trees. I would have never blindly flown into trees like this. And even past this, there's another spot that I want to show you guys. Fast forward to it. I think it's in this clip. Oh, please let it be in this clip because it's so cool. Did we already miss it? Did you guys see it fly backwards yet? There's a spot where I fly backwards.
Yeah, no, back up.
It might not be in this clip, actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a spot where I go through the trees just like this, but I'm flying backwards, completely blind backwards. I'm actually surprised it missed those right there.
Right.
But I would never fly a DJI drone backwards blindly through trees. And it makes for such a cool shot. I'll see if I can find it. But go ahead and ask your question, Ronnie.
Okay, this is now hear me out because it's going to be kind of a really weird question, but I need you to know. In the 90s, there was only two, let's just say, people allowed to use GPS. Number one was the military, and number two were surveyors. There was these things called spikes that we would get printouts from the licensed surveyors, who are our bosses, who go, at this current time, the satellites, the conditions of the satellites when you collect the data aren't going to be good. They're called spikes, et cetera, et cetera. Now, GPS, Wi-Fi, and all that jazz has been beefed up to where civilians can take a GPS unit and a camera and a phone into a building and do amazing things just like you guys are doing. But why, with all the technology, is there so many lags in what I'm seeing?
Well, you're not really seeing any lags on the videos I just showed because hold on, I'm trying to get there. We go.
And maybe I'm just
Where you get lag, Ronnie,
is
is
raw
between,
data.
where you see lag is between what the camera sees and what you see on your phone.
Okay, so when you edit it, you only see what the
Yeah, when you take the file, because it's recording onto an SD card, most drones will record onto an SD card, and you can then remove that and put it in your computer.
Then I have no prejudice after that, because there's
what you mean, but
well, no prejudice meaning that when you take the information off the card, forgive me, it's more solid than what I see. Correct?
So let me finish. So when you take the card out, it sees exactly what the drone sees. It's not seeing the lag that you saw.
Exactly.
So
That's
you're getting the raw footage.
yeah. You're not seeing any lag. There's no prejudice against it. Okay, good.
So, anyways, that's how they work.
So I know it sounds very. I'm
Technology
asking
is
questions versus I'm learning the technology because the only thing I'm basing what my questions are off of is what I see, and I didn't know there was a lag difference, right? Art.
I think so. The lag is the signal between what you're seeing on the phone and what the camera sees.
But what the camera's recording is completely different.
Yes.
there's no lag in that. So you have what the drone sees and what we see, and then when you take the file out of the drone, you see exactly what the drone saw.
Yeah, that's right. Mhm.
So it is. Hopefully that answers the question for you. I was just showing some cool shots here. Let me see if I can show them again. This is with the Mavic Zoom for you guys who don't have one. And now the Skydio doesn't do this. And what drone do you have, Art?
I have the Mavic Air.
I don't think it does this either. I don't think the Mavic Air does hyperlapse. And it's such a cool feature to have hyperlapse in the sky like this. Now you can do hyperlapse with the Air, but you manually have to do it.
Yeah.
You can't just set it to a mode and have it work, which is a shame, but it's such. Why is this not working? I'm trying to put in a new one and it's not working now all of a sudden. All right, let me see. We'll just kill that and open a new window.
Well, I apologize for
No problem.
the questions that were very simple, but now I get it. It's completely. See, I thought like the way it's filming is the way the processing of the XYZ data was coming in.
Yeah, no worries, man. Everybody's going to learn somehow.
Yep.
But, your best bet is to actually pick one up and just go start messing around with it. There's no, just like I said, if you're starting a YouTube channel, the best way to do it is to just start it. The best way to really start learning about this drone stuff is to just get one and start messing around with it. And then start watching channels like Art's, mine, as well as a bunch of other people. There's a lot of channels that are just drones.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you every single video is going to give you drone content, not only just nice, pretty stuff, but how to use them.
Right.
For my channel, if you subscribe to me, I'm going to show you that, but I'm also going to show you how to use
Subscribe to every one of your channels.
I'm sorry?
I'm subscribed to every one of your channels. You know that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You got to go subscribe to Arts and follow that.
I will.
Yeah, I have 3 other channels. I have a cooking channel, and I have a fishing channel, Arts Place Fishing, and then I have a political channel. That's the show that I do a live stream on Sunday afternoons. It's called Arts Place. I do conservative talk if you're into that, but I have a co-host.
I'm a rebel.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll like my channel.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody needs to support everybody in this because there's plenty of people on YouTube and we can all share and everybody does different content. Even if you do the same content, it comes off differently. Everybody's personality comes off differently. And it's just a cool community.
It really is.
Did you see this? Look, Art, Mike says he just saw someone looking in your front window. You have on your green. So Art's using a green screen, Ronnie, if you can't tell.
I couldn't tell. I was like, man, that guy's doing some good badass realty. And
Art, switch your background real quick, Art.
Okay.
Oh my God, Art! I need to take a picture of my shop, my background, and send it to you so you can look.
Oh, there you go.
That would be hilarious.
But is that all I see? Is that his background? Oh, you got a roller coaster. Hey, if it makes anybody feel better, I'm calculating a roller coaster as we speak. But Sean warned me to tell him what park it is. I'm not going to tell him.
Well, this is actually the Georgetown Loop. This is
that's
a narrow gauge railroad.
I did a video of that. Did you see that video, Art?
No, I didn't. I'll have to go check that out.
Well, let me see if I can find it for you real quick. Is some
Yeah.
drone footage of the train and some of us riding it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too far from me, so I
Yep.
had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, I have to pee. I'll be right back.
All right. Thanks for warning.
Thanks for the warning. That was good. So I'm going to keep it muted.
Here's a little trivia about Georgetown. Roseanne Barr's first husband used to own a hotel there.
I did not know that.
Yeah. When
So
he,
in the chat, I just went ahead and put that in there. But I'm going to share the screen, and we'll see some of these drone shots of the Georgetown Loop right now.
cool.
All right, make sure we're still on there with it. Good. And like I said, I'm going to not play the audio, but so I put a video together, get some ground shots, mixing in. This is sort of a great video example of what I talked about at Spin Up, like taking ground shots, mixing it with the aerial shots, putting them together. And in this one, I took it a step further, and I went and looked up a bunch of facts and threw them on the channel there. And of course, there's probably music. Let's see. Yeah, there's some music in playing with it. I don't think I play much talking in the video.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But
that's
somewhere in here, I got some drone shots. It was a really windy day, so getting the drone shots was a bitch. I'm fast forwarding. Here we go. So there's just a few drone shots mixed in. I probably should go on a day where it's not so windy.
right.
Over, because I mean, check this out. Just play that. She hated that I put that in the video.
Oh boy. Well, wait until she's a teenager.
That's my stepdaughter.
Oh god.
But yeah, so I
Back,
wouldn't mind actually going back.
Sean.
Filming at that location again. So that's another place I'd meet you, Art, if you want to meet up and go fly over there by the train loop.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
What is that? A roller coaster behind you?
No, that's the train. I just showed the video of the train.
It's a high train, like a roller coaster elevation train.
Kind of. It's the Georgetown Loop. It's a goes from Georgetown to where does it go to? It goes up to some mine or something.
I don't believe this.
I just posted a link to it in the chat, Ronnie. So if you want to check it out, you can go click that link, and it's in the chat room right now.
No.
The answer to this question here, Cooking Made Easy asked if I was going to buy the Mavic Air 2. And if you saw my first video, Cooking Made Easy, if you saw me talking about the difference in the way it looks compared to the Mavic Air 1, and I was bummed. I was definitely bummed when I saw the first leaks that they changed the form factor, and then new pictures leaked out, which I shared earlier, and it looks much tougher and meaner, although it is bigger, so it won't have that pocketability. That
I could not understand the word pocket. What?
Hold on, Ronnie. Let me finish answering this question.
Pocketability.
It doesn't fit in your pocket as well.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of hiking with the Air where I will put it just in a pocket or something, like in a hoodie pocket or something. So if it's too big, I don't know. There still has to be something big on this to make me buy it. However, I am considering getting it, making a couple videos versus the original Air, comparing the two, and then seeing which one I like better and selling the one that I don't like anymore. And if I like it better, then I'll keep it. And if I don't, I'll sell it. But I have a habit of when I buy a drone.
Forgive me, I had to do my room sneeze.
And that's a problem because I need to use that money to buy other ones. So yeah, are you planning on getting that one Cooking Made Easy? We'll ask you that. And Darren says it's just a name, and exactly, it's a name. It's not a Mavic Air anymore. We all know it's actually not. DJI calls it one, but it's not. Yeah. It's a good drone still, and I think it's a great drone if you come with a Mini, or if you don't have a drone at all. I definitely suggest if you're in the market, it's going to be a good price for what it comes with.
Sean, I have a question.
Yep.
So DJI is in Asia, correct? China?
China. Mm-hmm.
And they have, forgive me if this is too public.
You sound like you got the Rona, man.
No, I'm allergic to wheat. In my old age, all of a sudden I'm allergic to corn, and if I eat whatever.
Oh boy,
My
yeah,
goodness. Cooking Made Easy says, I agree that I think it's less like a Mavic Air, more like a Mavic 2. And you just nailed it.
yeah.
Like I said yesterday, I don't know who's yesterday and who wasn't. We've got the Mavic Mini, Mavic 2 Pro, and the Mavic Zoom both over here.
Yeah.
If they had just called this one the Mavic, I think that would have been dope. It would have been the Mavic Mini, the Mavic, and the Mavic 2 Pro. Such a cool name line and setup because they all go together so well. I think that would have been pretty dope. Obviously, DJI is its own company. They're going to name it whatever the hell they want.
Okay,
There are a lot of people.
exactly. You actually hit the nail.
Ronnie, let me finish my hold on. There are a lot of people that actually are bummed that they changed the form factor because it was so small and it is so pocketable. And it sucks that it's Wi-Fi. Most people just wanted the same form factor with OcuSync 2 and a longer battery, and most people would have been happy. This is still going to be a killer product. It is. Yeah. So if you're thinking about getting it, don't get it just because it doesn't look like the Air. If you wanted it, it's an upgrade you want or need. Don't let the fact that they changed the body styling prevent you from even considering it, because it's going to be a great product.
Yeah, because it's no longer lit. It's just dope now.
Man, I totally dig the patriotic flag.
Oh.
Mike B just caught the Rona from you, Ronnie.
It just makes
it
solid. Question I had to you, Sean.
Agent K's got a little smiley face with a mask on.
Yeah, I do have a question. Zoom back in how you did. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. Didn't DJI directly come to you because they had communication problems because they were an Asian company trying to communicate with American company?
Okay, so DJI customer support did come to me after I got the original Mavic Air also, and they had me reach out to my subscribers at the time and get a bunch of questions from them to be answered on what they would like to see improve. I'm sorry?
It's a two-part question, so this is the first part.
Do you want me to finish answering the first part?
Yes, sir. I apologize. Me just smack me in the face. I don't mean that.
So DJI, like I said, came to me and had me ask my subscribers what they would like to see improved with customer support. And so I got together a list. I went through thousands of comments, and made a list of the collective and said, okay, there's this many of this one, this many of this comment, put them all together. And I got a list of a bunch of comments and I brought them to DJI, the head of Chinese support, not the head of California support.
The head of
Chinese support.
The head mark of Asian support.
And I brought these questions to them and we did a phone interview, which I just linked in the chat. So if you're interested, in the chat there's a link to the video of what you're talking about. And DJI has, believe it or not, DJI actually has made some of these changes
because of
I wouldn't say because of me,
because of your
a little bit, but they probably were looking because of their customers. Let's put it that way. It's not because of me. It was because of all
you help their customers. You help them understand their customers better with your input, correct?
I gathered comments from people that were on my video and brought it to them of what people had very high frustrations with their customer support at the time. And they've made some changes since then. And I think that's pretty amazing that they did that. I did link the video in there if anyone's interested in seeing that.
Now, how much did the communication as the Asian customer service versus US, meaning to you directly, was it very thorough? I mean, were they very open to understanding and asking for, like, what can we do?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I gathered all these questions, brought them to them because they asked. But it's a great video, Ron. When you get a chance, I suggest clicking on it in the chat there, and you'll be able to see it. Darren K says he's got a question in the chat here. Why can't we build a drone commercially that's built in the USA? Darren, we are. Are you not familiar with the Skydio 2?
Yeah, Skydio's.
Skydio 2 is an American company, and it is a killer drone. I just showed a ton of really cool videos from it. So I'm not sure if you've seen it. JM Jeff agrees. So Jeff, yeah, you need to look into the Skydio 2, you guys. That is an American-made company. If you want to support an American-made company, I suggest checking it out. And the Skydio 3 will probably have a better signal than Wi-Fi. I keep wishing and hoping they're going to release another controller that has something better than Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But Art, as you know, and I know, that would have to already be built into the drone as well.
Yeah.
It's not like they could change the signal in the drone. They could change it in the controller, but if the drone doesn't have it in it,
That's right.
so more than likely we'll see something like that on the Skydio 3. And if they do that and you can turn the sensors on and off so you can fly at night, that will probably be the only drone I own at that point.
Then
much.
it'll be lit.
What's that?
Then it'll be lit. It won't be dope anymore. It'll be lit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So my question to you, Sean, circling back to about them helping you with support and you helping them, was not trying to be cocky and bold and both no tack. Was, don't you think you should be able to access and create a model directly for America that would, a name, a title for a cool drone?
No, I don't have the finances to do all that, man.
Well, you
Me.
do,
I got
right?
my tattoo studio and I'm good. I just fly them for fun, dude.
I know you fly them for
I
fun,
let
but
smart engineer people make them. I have no idea. I could give input, but I'm not in that position at all. So, but I appreciate the thought that you would think that I could. That's flattering. I appreciate it. Darren says good. Mike says the controller is the only downfall of the Skydio, and I would say there's two downfalls. It's the controller does feel cheap, but it's not the controller itself isn't a downfall. It still works great with the controller. You just it's a Wi-Fi drone, so you have to be a little closer. You can't go out, 2 miles away. But I don't think Skydio. I think when they built it, they focused on that tracking so much.
Right.
They didn't realize it's actually more fun to fly it with the controller than the beacon. The beacon is the beacon and it tracking, it's great at it. Don't get me wrong, but it's my least favorite way to fly the Skydio. Flying the Skydio with the controller, it's a game changer. It is so incredible. As long as you don't want to go out a mile or two away.
Right.
how many questions do you have from our listeners?
It's slowing down. We got about 14 people in there. I've been trying to go through them. Hopefully I don't miss people's question. We have a lot of people. See, you need to watch the chat, Ronnie. You got to learn how to pull up the YouTube and you do a pop-up chat, and you can actually close the YouTube channel after you.
And for the listeners that can see me, you'll teach me that tomorrow.
I was telling you just then, but yeah, I can teach you.
It's not my laptop, and it's I want to make sure it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be pressing a bunch of buttons.
No worries, dude. I do think we're going to start wrapping this up, guys. It is almost midnight.
Yep.
And let's see if there's any new comments real quick before we go. It's impressive, but has a lot of issues. Are you talking about a different drone? Because the Skydio doesn't have a lot of issues. People who think that haven't flown one usually or haven't played with one. So, Darren, I'm assuming you don't have a Skydio.
How about Billy Kyle?
Billy Kyle likes a Skydio. He doesn't have a lot of issues.
Didn't his go in the drink?
His did. It definitely. You're not supposed to fly it over still, calm water.
Oh.
So it actually says that in the instructions because it's using all the sensors and the reflections off that still, calm water. It can't tell if that's the ground or what's going on. So
okay.
you're not actually supposed to do what Billy did.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to do what Ken Herron did either.
Yeah.
But again, a tracking drone, if you're letting it be completely autonomous like that, you're taking a chance if you're putting it in those kind of situations.
Right.
I did a video where I'm flying over water and it's moving water. And Skydio actually came in and commented. And let me see. I actually might have the comment here. Let me see if I can find it. I think this is it. Let me see. Yeah, I can actually probably share that with you guys here. Let me drag this over here. And I will share that window and show you what Skydio said about water. Where is it? Here we go. So that is what Skydio said about water.
What do you say?
They said
My
Skydio.
new contacts, I can't read that close.
They said Skydio 2 can actually see running, moving water easier than it can still water. Still water is much more reflective, which is why it's tough to see. So it's almost like a still water is like a mirror. So flying over a mirror messes with the entire autonomous part of the drone.
May I ask an ultimate question for that question?
Mm-hmm.
What is the ultimate thing droners want to see happen? The mega thing that we make it.
Every drone owner wants to see a different type of drone. Everybody wants a little bit of something different.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like one answer for that question.
Yeah.
Art, what he wants to see out of it, his perfect drone, and me, and we probably have two totally different answers.
Yeah, because I'm more of a photography drone type person that's trying to get into FPV, which that means first person view.
I understand. Like almost, forgive me if this correct me if I'm wrong. POV per se.
It's very similar. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty same thing.
But what I want to do is I want to, with the FPV drone, is put like a GoPro type camera, and I use the FPV camera to steer the drone around and get the cinematic shots that I see on YouTube that look like, wow, they just look amazing.
And FPV is a totally different beast. Flying FPV is completely different than the other.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to find out. I just ordered a transmitter for this drone.
And so let me ask you too a question. So if let's just say this hypothetically, we had a manufacturer that could say customize what Sean wants, what Art wants, what I want. Would it neutralize the whole concept of drones, or everything be happy? You know, would everybody?
How much have you had to drink tonight, Ronnie?
No, it's not that.
You had one too many, man.
No,
Yeah.
Your questions are getting a lot less
question.
understandable.
No, actually, I have a legit question.
Look at
What
Art.
would you like an American company to do for you if everybody could be happy? Then what would happen?
Dude, that would be called utopia, and the world would be a different place.
No, that was actually a joke.
That's never going to happen, man. Nobody's always going to be happy. Everybody,
Because, you know, everybody's got to make money somehow in some way. But the software that you want and he wants is
there's different types of drones. So if they combined all that together, then it would no longer be what he wants and what I want. It'd be some weird Mod Podge shit that none of us.
And the reason I'm asking these extreme eccentric questions is the reason you're answering these questions the way you are.
Okay.
All right, guys, and it is 12:02, so we're gonna wrap this up. Ronnie, so answer your
Put a few
question
more
another time.
couples on that still, and maybe you'll get a better yield.
Well, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You broke up a little bit. All right, Ronnie, I'm gonna let you say goodbye first, and then we'll say goodbye to Art, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, and we'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Hopefully tomorrow night at 9.
I would love to see everybody tomorrow night.
I think tomorrow night we're going to have Jake Sloan join us in the chat. And then what's tomorrow, Saturday? Then I'm not sure who's going to join us yet for Sunday.
Could I join?
I know that on Monday, I think Jake Sloan, Ed Ricker, and a couple other people might join us. So hopefully we'll have a good full crowd to watch that release on, and all of us talking back and forth about it. Maybe I'll call Kelly Shores up and see if he wants to jump in.
That'd be cool. Yeah. All right.
So make sure you tomorrow night we'll be more chatting just like this. I was just shooting the shit. Then Sunday night, same thing. And then Monday to be earlier. Instead of at 9 p.m., it's going to be at like 6:30 Mountain Time. So that would give us an hour, because I think the event's at 7:30 Mountain Time, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
8:30 Eastern.
Yeah, that's Eastern time. Yeah, that's correct.
So if you're Eastern, we should start. That would be 6, 7, 8, 8:30. We should be live by.
So you and Art are on the same mountain time, correct?
What's that, Ronnie?
You and Art are on the same.
Yeah. Art
We're
is
on
close
Mountain
enough to me
Time.
that he is in the same time.
I'm 1 hour behind you.
No,
Uh,
you're 2
You're
hours.
in front of us. So
Yeah.
you're 1 hour in front of us. So it's
Yeah, so it's
Right now, my clock
right now.
says it's 2:04.
It's 2:04. It shouldn't be 2:04 there. You're 1 hour difference from me.
No, he's on Eastern Time.
Ronnie? No, he's in Texas.
No, he's in
Oh,
Richmond.
I'm not living in Texas.
Oh, that's right. You moved from Texas. That's right.
Yeah.
That's my own mistake.
Why'd you give away my place? You're not supposed
Yeah,
to tell
you're
anybody
2
where I
hours. You're
am.
Eastern time. Art, you win the prize.
Sean, call me when this is done.
All right, Ronnie. We'll see you later. Say goodbye, Ronnie.
All right.
All right. Ronnie's gone. And
Well,
we'll wrap this up.
thanks for having me. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. I'm enjoying this whole thing. I'll tell you one thing that this live stuff is messing with me, Art, is it's taken away my editing time that I used to sit at midnight and edit videos. So you haven't seen a single new video on my channel since I started doing this. But I've got like a ton of them in the works, so I'll work on it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. You have a good night, Art. I appreciate you joining us, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys tomorrow.
All
Darren,
right.
thank you. I appreciate that as well. I'm glad to see everyone in here and
Good night,
everyone
Sean.
communicating. That's one of my favorite things about this live thing is seeing everybody talk and become friends, hopefully. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining in. I'm going to go get some sleep, and we'll catch you on the next one.